Um, hang on. Let's do some stuff. What up, Kuma?
Not a smart strategy. Oh,
What's happening, y'all?
I don't think it's a smart strategy at converting people. It has to be like stronger arguments than that.
Can you guys hear me?
There's like a value. I feel like I'm a stronger debater than a lot of lefties at this point. Because like
I
they're
don't
on
think you can hear me.
fucking Prime K's show, like kind of getting like softballs thrown at them at all times, talking about socialism, and then like when asked like how that's going to be implemented, they can't tell you.
I know you can hear me.
I think getting like the piss hit out of you by like a bunch of groypers sometimes helps. It's not the best in the world. It's not for everybody. But it's a way to get better at debating. Let me bring you on stream.
Yeah, that's true.
1 second. Add the stream.
Alrighty, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry about that.
Awesome.
I you stream a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
What's
no
up,
problem. What's happening?
Well, not much.
Sorry, I just went live. I had to unpack my camera and my audio interface from my luggage because I was, cooking up some music with my cousin and doing stuff over holidays. But
true that. Yeah, man. So, are you familiar with the content of this video? This Dylan Burns versus Politically Revoked.
So, I'm not familiar with the content of this video specifically. I've been on the Hippy Dippy recruitment, so I'm familiar with like CTV, Dylan Burns, and Stardust. I've seen the name Chud Logic in passing, but I haven't really engaged with any of his content because why would I? Yeah, why would you? And I've seen same deal with Politically Provoked. I've seen them come up, but I'm completely unfamiliar with them as well.
Yeah, Politically Revoked, they are, I think it's fair to say blood sports. Describe the channel as a blood sports debate platform. Okay. If you've heard of The Crucible, Politically Revoked is like where that person, Big Papa Fascist, came to like notoriety.
Oh, God.
It's where people like
I've had conversations with that with my mod, with my boy Wayne Fade, about that person and Stardust entertaining that person.
No, he's growing his own platform now, Big Papa. Well, not channel.
That's so crazy.
So Politically Revoked is like the original channel for this. Like, there's a lot of blood sports. You can have 0 followers. Like, I know somebody that I'm connected with that has like maybe like 400 followers on Twitter, and they got interviewed on Politically Revoked.
Wow.
The other day. They'll take literally anyone as long as you don't get them banned as a channel. And some of these people,
well, I don't even know if that's true anymore.
Some of these people have like good arguments. Some of these people are like kind of psychos, honestly.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And actually, that's not a bad thing, all things considered. Like, you kind of do want to have a lot of like differing perspectives on like these spaces. That's cool and all.
Sorry, my cam's not working. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I never cam up anyway, so you are all good.
Yeah, today's the first day I saw Low End Theory on camera, and now I was like in private chat. I was like surprised. I didn't want to say it out loud. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got a rare glimpse. I think there's only 2 people that have ever seen me like see my face. You and one other person in Discord. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right on.
Yeah, but anyway, so in this particular video, what we're doing right now is we're going over Brittany, who is the host, one of the hosts of Politically Revoked. She's talking with Dylan Burns about like just platforming and content in general.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we're about halfway through it. I've kind of actually forgotten where we left off at, but
I'm curious. I'm excited because this may have been a conversation I've had on stream multiple times before. If this is going where I think it's going, but yeah, I'm going to. I'm
getting good. So
hell yeah! I'm glad I got here just in time.
About like the merits of having like extreme people on the right, like quote unquote platforms.
Yeah.
On this channel.
Okay.
And there's honestly some merits to it. Like it builds like stronger debate, like stronger debaters out of the lefties on the channel.
That's something.
It also exposes general audiences to right wingers. Like
that's also something.
Right-wingers, like grapers and fucking like actual people that call themselves fascists and people that call themselves neo-Nazis and stuff like that, or Nazi sympathizers and Holocaust deniers. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
Right.
It's getting good. Like I don't have any super strong opinions on it.
I kind of do.
Speak your mind.
So, I am of the opinion that I was actually, it was something I mentioned in Low End Theory earlier. I had a really long conversation with Frackle like a week or two ago about how.
Oh, you know Frackle?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Frackle was just. Oh, well, he was in comments. He wasn't on stream.
I'm
not a big fan of like debate type shit.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Like, we don't think it's actually particularly productive in terms of like material conditions, unless, like he and I kind of agreed that it's. And it might just be an opinion type of thing, like a subjective thing, but he and I both agreed that it's far more entertaining and far more informative when it's two leftists debating one another about something they already, a general like meta premise they already agree on, but trying to get into the nitty gritty, to quote Hassan, you know what I mean? And the problem that I have is because I kind of had a back and forth with Stardust on her channel about this, about how, because she was like, you know, even if there's two people in this person's audience that are fence walkers, then if I've convinced them to come to the other side, then I feel accomplished. And I had to explain that, number one, those types of people are people you cannot trust. You know what I mean? Like fence walkers, when you're talking about fascism, like straight up fascism, like those people are, first of all, you have to be a liar to even subscribe to that ideology in the first place. But there are people like in that wing who will straight up lie and pretend to be like liberals so that they can infiltrate organizations and stuff like that. There is a neo-Nazi, his last name was Metzger, that's talked about it, called Lone Wolf Theory. But beyond that, even if you've only reached two people in that audience, you've just legitimized this person's batshit views to the other 800 people in the audience.
Them to like the 700 people in your audience.
Exactly.
Reach those two in theirs.
Even if their audience is larger and you think that you're like clout sharking them, it's kind of, why would you want those people in your audience in the first place? People are just going to come in your chat and like spam slurs and eventually have to get banned or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it has to be something that's like equal. Or
yeah, Taj is like fairly like I think that you're like fairly moderate when it comes to like dealing with like these racist people. Just like let them talk and shit, but you don't really care all that much. Like, whereas me, you know, like if somebody like this Nick guy was in my chat, I'd just ban him. Like,
oh yeah,
what use is that?
I banned them ASAP, but I do see when it comes to content,
what value is it in there? You know,
right? I'm
really hoping that they say something that I think is thought provoking that I can address and make my point stronger because of that. That's part of the biggest things I get out of value out of Politically Revoked I don't get much clout.
I was just gonna say, I was gonna steal Manu because I think the Bloodsport angle is good as long as it's moderated properly, which is the issue that I have with a lot of these platforms.
Exactly. I was saying this exact same thing before you popped on.
Yeah, no, this is some dirty ass blood. Like, there's a lot of this is mud, right? That we're singing. There's a lot of blood in that mud.
I'm with, we're all black in here, you know what I'm saying? We're black men, I'm assuming. We've played the Dirty Dozens, you know what I'm saying? We've signified and stuff, so I'm sure none of us have any issues with ad homs and all that type of stuff, so I definitely
man, that's a part of the experience.
Right, facts.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is making me stronger as far as like a stronger debater. Like, sometimes they will actually go quote unquote Socratic with me, right? And they'll ask me questions that I haven't thought about myself.
That's entertaining.
Me having the opportunity to address that makes my point stronger.
Right.
Because either if I get introduced to something that I can't really defend, then I'll abandon that thing, or I'll find a way to defend it on the spot. Like, for example, like there used to be this hot topic, right? About like, if you got blown by this one person that you thought was a biological woman and you found out they were like a biological male, is that rape because you didn't know they were like a biological woman? So, like, I had this one person named Mio and this other person named Whirlsoroot slam me back and forth. And these guys are, like, really rhetorically effective right-wingers. Like, really rhetorically effective. And they're both, like, Fuentes fans.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Anyway, so pretty much, like, them getting me, like, with all these different questions and me having to defend on the fly, I feel like my stance on that really got a lot stronger. Like, they really aggrandized my ability to defend that point that I was defending. And I would not have seen that on a left-wing stream. I don't think I would have.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so
thanks for the share, Mike.
Hopefully Nick stops with the ad homs and like hits me with some good thought-provoking shit. And if not, then they're gonna help me get a bit higher in the ranks.
Are you a battle rap fan? I feel like it's like battle rap to where there's good battles and there's bad battles. You know what I mean? And
that's interesting. I'm more of a cypher kind of guy.
I'm a cypher guy all day long.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
Shit that comes with fucking. With battle rap, where it's like, oh yeah, lyrical miracle,
yeah,
do a spiritual. That shit just doesn't entertain me. Like, what gets me with rap is like, I like it when I find something clever, but also the beat sounds good, and not some shit. And I can't find that battle rapping.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm more into cypher as well, but battle rapping, I am definitely a battle rap fan as well.
I had a really big battle rap kick back in like
what up, Big Richie Lizzie?
2012. When a lot of there's a couple guys that are actually like on Wild and Out.
So like the URL era.
Yeah, exactly. Where like before those guys on Wild and Out like started getting on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to actually like really be into it, but then after a while, like it's the battle rap scene was just like so compact that like once you like kind of like heard like a bunch of like these people battling against each other, you had heard it all at that point. It just stopped being unique.
Yeah,
you know
I feel it.
Okay, I see what you're saying with that. Yeah, I guess we've run into that as well. The cool thing about the pop-ons that it's current topics as well, like things that are like people talk about all the time on Twitter, and current events like talking about Biden's Build Back Better plan and things like that.
We're watching this for people who don't know. We're watching this Dylan Burns hippy dippy video, I guess.
Yeah, let's continue with the video. We're halfway.
Yeah. Let's check it out. We got sidetracked. Sorry.
Oh, you're basically okay. Let me just make fun of this video with all the people that already agree with everything I'm going to say. That's just retarded.
There's no reason.
No. Are you kidding me?
Okay,
when you have two communities, if you were to do a debate with a far right person, the far right community is going to be there, but your community is as well. You guys both go at whatever it is the topic you're doing, and maybe somebody in either one of your communities can be convinced if you come up with a good enough argument to do that. It's happened before. I've seen it happen before. It happened to me, but if left-wingers are not even going to engage in these conversations, then yeah, people are going to our clock is still ticking. We haven't had any strikes or anything either. We haven't had any.
The problem with what you're saying, Brittany, isn't that I don't, and I do think it's possible to convince an individual not to. I say there's no point in convincing Nazis. So it's not impossible. But when you have an audience, let's say we're talking about, let's say person A who holds the mainstream political opinion on the Holocaust, that 98% of people agree with, right? 98, 99% of people agree that the Holocaust happened. And then you have the person B who believes it doesn't happen. It's going to go into this debate super prepared. Let's say person A actually does decent. Let's say they don't do a great job. They just do decent. Now, if you do decent in the debate and you quote unquote win, for most situations, that would be a victory here. In this situation, it would not be a victory, because if the vast majority of people watching this debate don't believe this thing and they hear even 1 or 2 decent points out of this debate, that's going to make them start questioning it. And if they can convince 1 to 2% more of those people, let's say only 5 to 10% of the people come out of that thinking that the person B won, then that's a victory, because that lets more people being exposed to this thing that was used to be far-right radical nonsense that no one believed.
This is correct.
A little bit more normalized.
Yes,
So
this is exactly the point.
Okay, and the
I
Holocaust
can't remember
is, like,
if it was
is a big
Taj
leap,
or
I feel
you
like.
that brought it up,
They're not having
Cemetery,
big
but
with
yeah,
that.
it's
Okay.
pretty much the
But,
exact same idea.
Yeah, I think that there's certain topics that probably shouldn't be entertained, like when the Holocaust is real. But other things like CRT, I feel like.
CRT,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Talk about CRT, but you got to know what CRT is.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you don't know what it is, you just can't talk about it. Like, a lot of times you see like a lot of these discussions are just had like a caricatures of these subjects. They have nothing to do with the subjects themselves.
Yeah, and this was another problem I talked about, is the fact that like anyone can just like call themselves a leftist and like come on here. So you get a lot of what I like to call like BuzzFeed liberals, whose politics is essentially just like be nice to black people and trans people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, like they don't
and
really.
Or get stronger in like how they debate people.
Yeah,
I'm the strongest person. My power levels aren't that high.
Well, not even in how they debate people, because they might be really well versed in rhetoric. It's just that they're not as familiar with necessarily like the concepts or talking points. Like, this is a prime example. This dude Doubleshine, who was on a panel, the first panel I was on, he just, I guess, or at least he in his tweets expressed this, but he straight up didn't know that like just getting whacked with like a 70-year sentence was like a uniquely American thing. You know what I mean? Because he was tweeting like a thought, I guess, like a thought kind of question, like maybe the death penalty should be it was like an abolition question, I guess, where he's talking about maybe the death penalty should be an opt-in kind of thing, because like I know. Yeah, like his argument was like, I know if I got hit with like 70 years, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to do that. I would want to just go like before a firing squad or whatever, I guess. And I was like, getting hit with a 70-year sentence like is something that shouldn't even be on the table. You know what I mean? And then he didn't know about the Norwegian or the like Scandinavian prison system, where like the maximum sentence that you can get even for like murder is 21 years. You know what I mean? And the prisons are actual. They're like almost like dormitories.
They're actually real rehabilitation.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I have a quick. I want to show Nick Russ 88's comment. When you guys decide to take on the mantle of policing what topics can and cannot be talked about, you ever consider this?
But we're not talking about what it can and can't be discussed. We're just simply saying, like, if you're going to discuss these things, you should probably talk about them from a, like, at least being knowledgeable of the subjects you're speaking about.
Right. I'm speaking ethically and like pragmatically. I'm saying, I'm not saying don't do this or you're a bad person. I'm saying if you do this, this is what's going to happen.
I mean, exactly. Like, but that's
yeah. What up, Nord?
Like dealing with people like this Nick guys, they're only listening to like respond and like
exactly
like quick quips and jokes, but they aren't actually listening to what we have to say.
Yeah, they just want to be correct.
The question, regardless. I think that going over which topics would be the most rhetorically effective as well is very important. Talking about being a slut for every topic is not something that I want to do. If I do one-on-one again, the next time I do a one-on-one, and there's like a set topic, then I do
like trap music.
Because that's a very poisonous topic. I don't want to say yes to something. Gosh, what's something else that's like a really poisonous topic? If you guys can think of any.
Race and
IQ. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a big one.
You beat me to it.
Jewish question.
Yeah, that type of stuff is a absolute no go. Like, if you even remotely talk about that kind of stuff, you're immediately sus to me, and I'm not going to entertain you.
Yeah, and on top of that, even that alone, like one of the biggest things that I've seen with a lot of these race and IQ debates is like a lot of times like their side of the story is often like based on like these very like niche like
studies.
subject matter that if you're not like exposed like these like racist like echo chambers, you would have no ability to counter those arguments. One of the biggest ones that I just found out about the race and IQ is like the difference between like the different learning types. And it races bind to I do believe it's like G loading for IQ tests and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when you go over that subject matter, it's like so like unbelievably disputed. But if you had no idea that type of subject matter exists.
Here's the other thing though, because I have like, and this is something else I've talked about. Like I used to be like a Molyneux fan and shit. So I am actually versed in all of those talking points. I played in a band that ended up being like some dudes ended up being neo-Nazis in the band and stuff. Right. And like, yeah, that's a pretty crazy story. I could tell you guys some other time if you want, but yeah, essentially what I found is that, like I said earlier, to even subscribe to those types of ideologies in the first place, you have to be a liar. And what happens a lot of the time, even no matter how well versed you are in those talking points and their refutations, they just don't care. Like 9 times out of 10.
Okay. So, okay.
Thank you, Keyblade Warriors.
I see that point. By the way.
So it's like it's entertaining for your audience. And like it's content for you, you know what I mean? Because it's not even a preaching to the choir type of deal, because there might be people in the middle of that type of stuff who are not politically educated, don't know that those talking points are like Nazi talking points and stuff. And if you dunk on them, you know what I mean? They will never give those people any type of time of day ever again. You know what I mean? Yep. Like you just clap their cheeks one time in public like that, then they're delegitimized for everyone. But other than that, there's really no, and you're talking about a very small section of your audience. You know what I mean? Because there's at this point, at this stage in the game, I would wager there's very few people that don't know about that kind of stuff.
Interesting. That's a good point. I think the only other topic besides what you guys mentioned,
I might do a react later. No,
hesitant to speak about would probably be like pedophilia. Just because that's
touchy.
Thing really is getting fucking slippery for a lot of people.
Yeah, I just looked at a little bit of that stuff recently. I'm having a hard time understanding like what even is going on.
Yeah, so this is one guy called Mr. Girl. He's I guess an internet comedian, an internet rap comedian guy, and he has a lot of interesting.
Don't we have enough of those? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So for him, like he's not out. He's not explicitly pro pedophile, right? But he says a lot of things that try to like take away the teeth against pedophilia, and it really does beg the question on like why the fuck would you want to like take away the stigma of pedophilia? You know, that's kind of like his end game or alleged end game so far, and he's definitely hiding his power levels on it. But I feel like and I don't mean to be offensive to people here, or people that could be watching this later on, but I feel like with audiences that are majority male, majority terminally online, I don't trust that audience to not. I don't like for it to 100% not be moved towards his direction at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a ton of people out there looking for the right argument. There's a ton of people out there.
Yeah, they're just waiting for an excuse. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's fucking weird. And I'm not even talking about like right wingers only. I mean like they're like people on the left. And I'm like, some of these cats are weird.
Facts.
Yeah. But yeah, let's push through, guys. Unless you guys anything else before I push.
No, let's go. Let's keep it moving.
Yes, sir.
I mean, there's a lot of other debates.
You have hosted a Holocaust debate, though.
We hosted one Holocaust debate, yes,
okay,
and it was with a historian, and he knew his stuff. So it was actually it was done right, but we had internet issues, and then they blamed the Jews for that, so that was fun. But
oh my gosh,
there's a lot of other discussions that could be had that are more about like with immigration and things like this. that can be had where you can convince people that on either side, if you have better arguments, which is I think the biggest thing is
who had better arguments, Mio, the anime person, or Destiny?
Well, you mean when they spent 45 minutes talking about music?
I'm asking
they weren't talking about the topic though. They never talked about the topic.
No, wait, you didn't even. Don't dodge my question.
That's exactly what happened though. You damn well know it.
Don't dodge my question. Just answer the question.
No, they weren't talking about the topic, Dylan. That was a problem.
Okay, never mind then. You don't need to answer the question.
Oh my god.
Oh, actually, we need to introduce him to the little Timmy question,
dude.
Just
answer the question.
Because again, there's no.
Oh yeah, just so you're aware of it.
Yeah. Cemetery, familiar with the little Timmy question?
I am not. I'm sorry. Oh. I'm not. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not familiar.
Yeah. So okay. So to put it very simply, the little Timmy question is 13 words for morons. Essentially, it's a hypothetical situation in which there is like we're talking about like maybe 50 years in the future. You have a little white kid in like a classroom, and he's being made fun of because he's white, because of atrocity
in the class.
Yeah, he's a minority in the class. He's being made fun of because of the specific like situations that like white people like inflicted upon black people and other minorities throughout all of like American history at least, right? So essentially the way to avoid this particular situation would be to end all immigration of minorities.
Just to stop you really quick, this premise falls apart for me. It's already not equal because the kid is being made fun of in school and not in jail. But go ahead.
but again, the whole point is that like it's essentially trying to protect like white children.
Right. Yeah. Like, the 14 words for dummies.
Yeah, it's 13 words for dummies. But if you like kind of like dress it up in this way, it makes it appear like it's like a very reasonable situation. There are white kids in black schools that don't deal with any of these issues. In fact, like a lot of times, and this may be just anecdotal, but a lot of times if you have like a white boy or like white girl that's like whatever the case may be, like in like an all black space, they tend to be celebrated,
Oh, like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Your M&Ms.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that like when you like have this caricature of like, this kid being bullied, it's
the same thing when people talk about like Louis C.K. being canceled and stuff, or like these people who are quote unquote canceled somehow get even richer and famouser after the fact. You know what I mean? Like it's gives me the same energy, same vibes.
Yeah.
I don't mean to push back too hard on you guys.
Go ahead, push back.
Go for it.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I don't know. Like just from my lived experience, I don't think that. I do think that the kid that's like the sorest thumb sticking out is like liable to be made fun of more than his other classmates. Like, I know kids that were the sole white kid in majority black classrooms. I was the black kid. The sole black kid.
It's for white supremacy, fear white people being treated how they treat minorities. Facts.
I think that's something that kids do. Like they just kind of make fun of the odd one out.
Facts.
Race is a very easy thing to make fun of someone for, I guess.
That's facts.
The thing is, though, I don't think that's like. I think that gets loaded with a lot of like assumptions on like threats of retribution versus like how children just treat each other in childhood psychology. So like this premise kind of relies on like the belief that black people are like more violent and like are more angry about certain things.
I wouldn't say that. It's just
seeking retribution.
Things like that.
Here's how you have to get to that. You know what I mean? In order for there to be retribution, there has to be a wrong in the first place. So it's just a giant ass self-report. It's them saying, we're afraid you're eventually going to treat us the way that we are treating you now and have been treating you for however long. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because for it to even
swayed by this, know that they know that bad things happen systemically in the past. Like they're not denying that at all. They're not denying it even for today. They're worried about like what the retribution would be if there was a retribution. I don't think there's some big retribution that's gonna happen. I really fucking doubt that.
I mean, we have examples of it not happening. That's the crazy part.
Right.
Like after slavery ended, it was an expectation that like all the free slaves were going to like start like massacring all the white people, and it didn't happen. we just like ended up doing our own thing.
Yeah, you know? There's like pictures of black EMTs working on Klansmen. Yeah. Like we've always just kind of done our own thing. Like my own family, you know, the person who owned my great grandfather was like another child who was closer to him in age, and they were apparently best friends from what I've read about it. But the other thing that I was gonna say,
slaves weren't allowed to have guns.
The slaves were not allowed to.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, we had guns.
Black people had guns.
Like felons aren't allowed.
We weren't allowed to have guns directly after slavery ended.
Yeah, we had them though. Like felons now aren't allowed to have guns, but trust, black people have guns.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. But we just legally couldn't defend ourselves.
Yeah, but I was also gonna say. Yeah, I was also gonna say the danger is that like as we know as anti-fascists, this is how the fascists move, is just through rebranding. But uninitiated people don't know that, so it can be a rhetorical pitfall for them when, just like Low End Theory was saying, this is it's 14 words just repackaged. You know, it's boneless 14 words. You know what I mean? And your average person might not know that. You know, your average person might get duped and fall into that thinking line of, well, because they trap you the same way that everybody gets trapped, where it's the Mott and Bailey, where they set up a premise that you have to agree with, right? Nobody wants kids to be made fun of, so therefore protect all white children.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I when I push back against this, it's very long. Here's the thing about questions versus answers, right? Like a question is so simple. You can ask a question in 10 words, but the answer can be fucking. You can ask a question in 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
And the answer can be fucking 40 minutes.
Facts.
Oh my god, Brittany. So
I might be quiet for a second. I'm about to rip a fat dab. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Actually, not even to cut you off for a second. I want to actually go grab my vape. So give me like.
Yeah. Let me smoke on this Ashley Babbitt real quick, and I'll be right.
Oh my god. I need to say that, smoking the Ashley Babbitt.
It's like, nah, we got his new pet. Who's that dude that just got he's just got put on an event, that anti-vaxxer conservative dude that just got put on an event? We're smoking on him tonight.
Fuck, which one, bro? Smoking that Herman Cain, bro.
Smoking that Marcus Lamb.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the mega church pastor guy.
There's another one though. That's the crazy thing. There's one like every 2 weeks.
Well, you know, Jesus say to go in twos. Tie him by the tails, you know? Yeah, so with things like that, like you have to like deconstruct it in multiple ways. I like not only in the future do I want kids, the parents to have as many fucking kids as they can have or want to have, and plan accordingly. I also want like anti-violence things in classrooms. There are a lot of things that schools can do to lower the violence that children commit against each other. Say for example, like having like more equity in the homes, like less abusive households, having more food, literally more food a lot of times can like lower like the violent tendencies within children.
Absolutely.
Having economic structures that encourage like full families, that encourage like families with two parents, whether they be two moms and two dads, or a mom and a dad, whatever, or two grandparents, what the fuck ever, whatever. Having the economic systems available for that.
It takes a village, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It takes a fucking village, that village mentality that schools can provide. Like more there's tutoring, things like that.
Easier solution to this. Even if the little Timmy question was even a reality, which I don't even believe it is in the first place, like there are easier ways to deal with these situations that like will be extremely equitable, that don't result in like an ethno state. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah, like let's just try to end bullying altogether. That way there does need to be a little Timmy or a little Tyrone or a little Juan.
Well, I'll take it a step further and say that CRT would be a direct counter to that situation, right? Because if we're educating our children adequately on racial inequity in society and how to directly be anti-racist people, then that in and of itself would be, I feel like that's kind of, I watched another debate where it was like cancer. This dude kept calling CRT but that kind of is praxis.
Oh yeah, I've had that debate. Like I don't know what it is, but it's like a hive mind. It's like every single time, like I think I've got the whole thing figured out, like a new talking point comes out. I even know CRT praxis was even a thing, and I've heard it repeated to me like at least like 10 to 15 times like the last like month or two.
The vibe that it gave is that like he saw some leftist like post something and jokingly be like praxis. You know what I mean? And now
wait, right wingers are saying praxis now?
Yeah, they're calling it critical race theory.
They're saying now. Which is like
what the fuck is that?
If you reach, you're doing the action of creating an equitable society. So it's like if you know what I'm saying, you squint, you put the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man glasses on, you can kind of make it, finesse it to look like that, but it ain't that.
So right wingers are using the term praxis to further their points. That confused the fuck.
So instead of making it a study, they're essentially saying that like it's an actual like CRT is actually like practicing like essentially like reverse segregation.
Right. It's like practicing Marxism, like actually doing Marxism. Like praxis is just doing Marxism, and Marxism bad.
Wait, when people say praxis, usually it's just like things like, "Hey, I fed a homeless people." That's praxis, you know.
That's an action.
Right.
I can't. That's so strange to me. Okay.
But this dude was saying the theory itself. Like I could see if teaching the theory would be practice, but like he's saying CRT itself is praxis. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it's praxis by making people aware of what's going on, or like the historical implications of CRT in general.
Yeah, interesting. That is so interesting. Like with the CRT thing, it's such like a jumble, right? Like I have to like combat it with like things like, hey, when you guys learned about MLK in schools, did you guys feel like you were bad because white people were bad when MLK was alive? To like I literally, when debating things, you literally have to like tweak things for a majority white male audience.
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I know it's like why a lot of lefties don't like it.
It is work, and you have to be the type of person that would be willing to do that work to do it, you know.
Yeah, and I understand that certain lefties get mad at me for doing it, or like we'll get mad at anyone for indulging in it.
I don't think anybody should get mad at you for indulging. It's just like
it's low key necessary.
You don't want to end up being there like their what's the word? You don't want to end up being there like the little like what's the word looking for? A sideshow project, you know? You don't want to be the person that like all they do is like just like you like kind of like shuck and jive for them for their entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I feel you on that. And I think some of the kayfabe that I've been doing over the past
making white people wear racism as communists, it is low key. White supremacists fear white people being treated how they treat minorities. Yeah, I already read that. I don't know why I read that again. But yeah,
and you know, it's like it's not for everybody. I have my own goals. They have theirs. But yeah, let's go on with the video. I like this, man. Like this is like going to quite a bit of time, but dude, I'm here for it.
Nothing to answer because he never got to the actual topic because they were talking about other things.
So did I not ask a question? You said there was nothing. There actually is a question.
You asked who had better arguments, but
just answer the question.
There was no argument. Is the point?
Well, actually, there were multiple arguments.
No, there weren't. Not on the actual topic. I don't care about who fucking had better arguments on what musical notes are.
Fucking hilarious.
Destiny crushed Neo in every debate.
Yeah, they had like 3.
In any of those debates.
He's cooking the fuck out of her right now. Also,
did a really good job.
She's like can't even answer the question.
Then I think you're delusional. And that's why. Let me finish. Okay. I think that is evidence that there are some people who cannot be convinced at all. Because if you can listen to the anime profile picture person talk for like 5 to 10 minutes and think that they have anything interesting to say, or they are convincing in any manner, I think that those people cannot be convinced by good arguments. I think that they're dug into a position.
Facts. Dylan is correct.
I will host debates before between two people.
It's wild that Dylan is entertaining Stardust. Just goes to show the type of people they put on that shit. This is valuable though, because he has the correct take here.
Hold on, excuse me, no, because I just said the first one he did better. The other two,
I guess if I were a dipshit, they would have had me on. I mean, yeah.
No, I think that
I've debated Mio in the past.
Oh, well, she's just so stupid. That's why he was able to read.
There was one good point that he made during our debate,
having these debates, and why?
And it was specifically about like the farmer bill, that Biden passed for the black farmers. Like, even though, like, even afterwards that money was available to white people afterwards, but like the initial like push for it, he did make a good point.
They prioritize black farmers more than white farmers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That will be an example of like, that'll be a very strong and convincing example of something like that. But at the end of the day, like, it was exclusively available for them at first, and then it was then changed to like essentially help out everybody.
Yeah. And you have to, and like you could, and Mio can say something like that really quippy, and like the answer explain that will take a much longer time. Like, I think I don't know too much about it. I should know more about it because I literally have farmland. But like, to my understanding, like a lot of black farmers were kind of like just like the GI Bill, like things like housing, things like that. Like a lot of black people system got the shit into the stick, for decades, if not since. Yes.
Well, a lot of us were just straight up sharecroppers. Like, we didn't even own the land that we farmed.
Yeah, yeah. But so for the black people that still own land, compared to the white counterparts, they see themselves getting like less subsidies and things like that. So I guess part of Biden's bill, like that, prioritizes black farmers more than the white farmers temporarily.
Well, it's not even less subsidies. It was just like we were cheated.
Right.
There are black people that were just essentially cheated out of the ability to like own land. So I think that like there should be some restitution for that.
And there was there's also housing covenants and that type of stuff too. Yeah.
Like I did pose him a good question, which I don't even think he answered during our debate, but why do you think that like we should just play ball, like when you didn't even give us a chance to like even like get our free throws in first? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks for the stars, Key.
Roll with this though.
Wasn't he able to red pill me on anything? Maybe Mio just has a different approach in what he's doing, and a lot of it, we were talking off stream and off debates and stuff as well. But his hypotheticals, and because I know a lot of left wing.
Do you think Mio is a convincing person?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I do.
That's my evidence.
In the right environment, I do think he is. And you know what? But the problem is
maybe you're maybe in the right environment. If they're in an insane asylum, they might be slightly convincing.
But no, like Mio was able to make arguments. Nobody was coming at them with better ones. And I was like, what I was actually hoping to do was have Mio, Destiny, and Nick make those arguments, because I feel like they're the two best in the game. And I was hoping to see if I was going to be able to. That was my original plan before Mio came along, but then some shit happened.
Oh God.
But the thing is, like, I was able to actually the hypothetical really worked with me, because it was a realistic hypothetical, and it had a lot of arguments that I've had myself. Like, I've even gone through the white guilt stuff before, where I was like out there saying, white straight men in power are horrible, they shouldn't be there, and I was doing all that stuff. I was open borders, all this stuff. But when I started to hear some of these arguments, and I don't know, and I'm glad to see that Twitch is leading the charge in fighting for little Timmy. Like, that's been good. That's been very white pilling for me. But I don't think that.
Wait, hold on. Wait, stop. Wait, hold on. That was crazy. Really high. That was so mask off. That was wild. That was wild. Like, what?
Yeah, essentially, because of the whole like
don't say
C-word.
It. Like, yo,
C-word discourse. Let's see. I can say the C word, but like
that's
for white people.
I'm not gonna do that.
Why would you even? Wow, wild. Yeah, I'm just like, why would you even joke about that kind of stuff? But I guess when you are just clueless,
just shows,
you know what I'm saying?
It's not like white pilling. It's just Twitter, like actually, like, or Twitch, I should say, actually holding up to their TOS, right? Like, regardless of whether or not I believe that the C word is a slur, because I really don't, but it could be argued that it is. And if you're gonna have a TOS where you can't use these types of words, then you should enforce it on both ends. But that's not like white pilling or anything like that. It's just being consistent.
Right. Just really quick to hit back on that. I think it is a slur. It's just that's not what the important part is. The important part is the power dynamic. Like, words like the F slur, the B slur, the R slur, they're the reason why they're wrong when they're employed is because of the power dynamic that's implied. Like a gendered slur, anything like that. But like the power dynamic in that slur is the slur is the reason why that slur exists is specifically to make light of the fact that the power dynamic is moving in the opposite direction. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's silly. It's a silly, like, and that's why I kept saying the whole time, if your take is that nobody should say any slurs, okay, cool. Well, I guess I could throw out my Ambien, because that brain dead take is going to put me in a coma for the next 37 years. But the important bit is the power bit, I would say. But yeah, sorry.
Actually, hey, can you pull up that last chat from Nick Russ?
All right.
The same old bit about the power dynamic. Like, why are you so pressed to not acknowledge the power dynamic? Because it's literally the most important part. Like, if somebody dropped you off in North Korea or Cuba, I feel like you would feel pretty pressed on a power dynamic. You get what I'm saying? Like,
it's
if
only an issue.
That's the entire premise of the Little Timmy situation is a power dynamic, right? Little Timmy would have no power.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Destiny has this pushback on the power dynamic thing with slurs. One of his pushbacks on the power dynamic thing is like, I think he said, yeah, he made a good point. He said that if you got dropped, say like if you were a white person that got dropped off in Africa, saying the N-word would still probably be bad. If you were like dropped off in the middle of China, saying slurs for Chinese people and Asians would still be bad. If you got dropped off, or even in America where people of Jewish descent that demographic is like really well off, like pretty high economically, and in hold pretty like decent positions of power and stuff like that. But still saying like the word that runs off bike for Jews is like still a bad thing. I would say that these are like legacy terms, right? The only slur I can think of that is recent, made within the past fucking 10, 20 years is probably Karen, and that's arguable if that's even a slur. And even if that is super fucking light.
Okay.
Words like slurs towards Asian people, fucking that's like, yo.
This was Destiny's take, you're saying?
That was why mute me? What the heck? Yeah, so that was Destiny's take, yeah.
I think it's a pretty bad take, but
I think these are legacy words. So even though people can be Jewish and have like a bunch of have a lot of socioeconomically be pretty well off compared to other demographics, like that word, the word that rhymes with bike for Jews is like still like it's a legacy word. It's a word that people older than our grandparents were saying. So that's kind of contributes to why it's wrong. If you got dropped off to a different country, say if you were white, you got dropped off to like Nigeria, and the power dynamic was obviously skewed for well, I don't even know if that's true for Africa, but say like Wakanda, right? And you're like a white person and a minority in Wakanda, it'd still be wrong to say the N-word. I think that's because like you come from like an American background and American sense. I can't speak for people from other countries.
Okay. So
but I think it's legacy that goes along with it.
I would disagree with that take as well. I would say first off, Destiny does not live in Nigeria. He lives in the United States of America. So
yeah, but I know, just entertain the hypothetical.
Yeah, I live in reality. I don't live in the hypothetical. So it's like if you're reaching that hard, so that you want to say that and this is another issue that I had with Destiny, because I'll get there, but so here's the thing. Because this is I'm like shaking now. So like I said, Destiny does not live in Nigeria. Destiny lives in America, firstly. Secondly, the power it's interesting that he chose the group of like Jews for that slur, because there's still a power dynamic involved. Like, sure, you could say that some members of the Jewish community are in positions of high wealth or high power, we'll say, if you want to use that term. If we're talking about like conspiracy level almost type shit, like Hollywood, whatever.
Conspiracy wise, just socioeconomically, just like how Nigerians, right, are like.
I'm talking about. I'm focusing on America. I'm not.
Right.
I don't have any experience in Nigeria. I don't know any Nigerians personally. Like
Nigerians in America are like fairly like wealthy.
Yeah, but at the same time, like a police officer does not give a single fuck about that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, of course not.
Yeah, there's intersectional levels that he ignores to make his point.
Right, and those are the most important parts of the argument of leftism. Is that
I'm pretty sure Jewish people get hate crimes. I think they're like top 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the argument is that like the argument is the energy that it gives me is that because rich members of this demographic exist, the slur does not affect them because they have power, because some members of that community have a lot of money, which completely negates the idea that members of not specific communities are not representatives of their communities, right? That communities are not monoliths, right? Like LeBron James is a millionaire, is one of the most famous members of our community, and still gets the N-word spray painted on his garage door, could just as easily be shot dead in the streets by a police officer, right? A rich Jewish person could just as easily be doxxed, be assassinated by some of these right-winger groups, right? Like, it's striking to me that you have to straight up leave the country and leave everything that I know he knows, and everyone in, like almost everyone in his audience, because maybe there are some Nigerians in his audience, everything that they would know, to be like, over there you could totally say the N-word and it wouldn't be bad, and you could say the C word, they could say the C word and it would be really bad for me, right? If you want to reach that hard, cool. And it gets to my thing about how he doesn't use the F slur, because he said that he's not comfortable with the audience, like the Dave Chappelle argument. If I use the F slur, I don't know if when you laugh at that or when you say it too, how you use it or how you mean it, right? Which is a fair argument, but he still uses the N-word.
In private.
No,
I definitely saw a tweet. Well, I saw a tweet from Destiny's Friend on Twitter. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. With the N-word in it. A recent tweet.
Pop up this next one.
Okay. I think he did the Vosh and it was a tactical.
Directly related to the C-word discourse, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tactical N-word. I think he did.
Yeah, tactical N-word. Yeah. Jeez.
Hey, pop this next one up.
Oh man, I don't like. All right.
No, because actually I like the takes that we're getting from Cemetery on these. And we can both like speak to them, and these are very common talking points.
I hate to go in, but like it's because my mod in here, my boy Fade Runner, he's a coworker of mine. He's one of my best friends. I go in on this all the time at work. Like, dude, this take is so terrible, and this dude just has a massive audience of dick riders who are just not even going to question this shit. But sorry.
Right, so which one? Like
what up, Frackle?
No, not that one. Who gives a shit about that?
Well, it's cool, Nick. Funny.
Yeah.
These dirt poor Nigerians came here, availed themselves with the comforts of Western, so ultimately became bootstrap theory. Meanwhile, clowns like Lohan want to whine about my reparations. Give me a break. Oh, so bootstrap theory is that where you're coming from?
No. I mean, it's not even that, right? So first off, the Nigerians that come over this country aren't dirt poor. That's like
a lot of them
right off the bat.
You have to be rich. If I could interject, you have to. This is America you're talking about. You have to be rich to get here. You don't come here. This is like Gucci. You feel me? You don't come here if you ain't got no bread.
Exactly.
You're not coming here without no bread, dog.
You're not dirt poor in affording a transatlantic flight, leaving your family behind with nothing, and dirt poor. You come here with something.
Like, I get your idea of immigrants is just like you think of like dirty Mexicans like crawling across the border in a burlap sack, but like I promise you,
there's a reason why they're mostly poor and the Nigerians are not.
Exactly.
One, the biggest difference is there's not a ocean
drug war
between.
Well, yeah, the ocean as well, but yeah.
There's not an ocean in between between Mexico and the United States, where there is one for Nigeria. It's ridiculous. Like, you have to like argue these like clearly, obviously like clearly obvious points with these types of people. Like, and Taj, just to be honest, what have you gotten from this guy that's been thought-provoking in the entire time we've been streaming?
My favorite thing about that.
Sometimes he asks questions that I feel like provide like a little bit of value.
Can he ask one?
I got
the one he asked about.
I got the Nipsey Hussle take, man. Sometimes you just gotta let clowns be clowns, man. Like,
fair enough.
He said something a few minutes ago that was pretty good. The power dynamic thing was like a good thing to talk to you about. I feel like that's good content. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Slim pickings and pickings will get better with the more people that subscribe.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the power dynamic guy. If anybody wants to debate me on the power dynamic thing, I would gladly, happily, easily, handily,
I just want the day,
soundly.
I don't even care about the power dynamics overall. Like, I don't even care about the power dynamics. I think that, like, if you're not gonna allow slurs on your platform, no matter what I believe, whether that's slur or not, then just don't allow them.
Oh yeah, so, there's the TOS argument. Yeah, absolutely.
Or allow all slurs.
Yeah,
even
and
if the one that I don't think is a slur is one.
And I think I mentioned that to you as much. Is that, you know, I get people in my chat. I get like weekly like hate raids and stuff. You know what I mean? Like that they haven't figured out a way to fix that, but streamers are getting banned left and right behind that. Mm-hmm. So it's like
when they're dropping the N, then the next comment says and the next comment says, you know how it goes.
Right, the ASCII, you know, and the banana emojis, the monkey emojis, all that stuff.
Yeah, they'll find a way. They'll find a way.
Especially when you specifically do political content and, you know, pro-black content and leftist content, and they want to, and you present yourself, you speak how we speak in here. You know what I mean? You want to present yourself a certain way. They want to take you. They feel like they want to take you down a peg, or that they're gonna clown you or geek on you or something somehow.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's roll with it. We're halfway done, guys. We got.
Sorry.
This horse is fire.
This is spicy.
This is good.
So I'd already told Taj about the barbershop already. Oh, I think that would be cool.
You were telling me about that too. I liked it.
Yeah, I do want to have at least a couple of conservative, like, black guys on here as well.
You need
Not
that.
Insane ones.
Take a tanky in lieu of a conservative because they're kind of the same thing sometimes.
You need a Hotep. You need at least one Hotep.
I need one Dr. Umar. I need at least one.
It's crucial.
I gotta have one.
You gotta watch out, like, the Hoteps will dominate a conversation so quickly, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're such big fans. Like, it's part of their belief system to, like, talk over other men.
That's facts. Alpha male vibes, dragon energy.
Over other women. Like, it's pretty wild. They might say some shit that might get you banned too.
Facts.
Pressure situation against Destiny and stuff, and they got stuck down these rabbit holes that don't fucking matter. You guys haven't really heard him in his element, I think.
That's shit.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize. My apologies. Sorry, we're trying to play Halo while you two are arguing. Sorry, continue.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Right, go on, Dylan.
Oh no, I have nothing to respond to there. I just thought I don't think there's anything to respond to there. I just thought it was a shit argument. I don't think Neil's convincing. I think the idea that he makes good arguments.
What's your response?
I saw the comment someone left on your post that Dylan was spicy in this, and he's been mad spicy.
It's like to me the little Timmy scenario is fucking ridiculous because I'm a white kid who grew up in a.
You're not white.
That's a such.
Hold up, stop. Wait, what?
Yeah, that's.
I'm a white kid.
Hold up.
That's.
We can't even get 2 minutes.
Dylan Burns is not white.
I'm pretty sure he's white.
Dylan Burns is clearly white.
Like,
He's okay. So
Dylan Burns is a howdy. It's like he's a howdy neighbor ass Igan. All right, like
I was gonna say.
I feel like I'll cross paths with him in an airport or Walmart. Like, howdy neighbor. Like,
let's go.
That's something that I feel like he actually says in real life.
Nah, let's go with the Destiny take. Nah, he's not white. I was gonna say no, the Destiny take. If we go oh no, that's American. If we go to like 1917 in like the Caucasus Mountains, like Dagestan or something, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's not white. Yeah, the Destiny take.
Well, that's not even like a Destiny take. That's just truth.
That's facts.
Right, so
but it's not what they're. But it's not the point though. You know what I'm saying?
If somebody see Dylan Burns on the street, they're not saying he's not white. Like I don't.
Right. Exactly. We live in America in 2021. This is a white kid.
looking white is good enough to be white.
Facts. Like the police officer behind you is not checking your ancestry.com while he's running your tags. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Not now, at least.
Well, yeah, not yet. Not yet.
Wait till we get the COVID chips.
Once the 5G gets activated.
Yeah, the 5G gets activated, then they're gonna have your whole like ancestral line.
I still haven't.
That's gonna determine how hard you get beaten with the nightstick.
I know people got the booster, but it seems like their base is still at the same level. So
yeah, we'll see. Oh my god.
Pretty Black County. I was like one white in my class, was one white with three, right? I'm fine, okay? Everything was fine. We were a perfectly fine community. The little titty scenario was literally my childhood. It's completely fine. I think it's ridiculous.
Okay, well, why don't we talk a little bit more about Little Timmy? Because, first of all, I don't know how old you are, whatever, but in age of social media,
it was literally during the fucking like Ferguson riots. I was like in middle school. I was fine.
Damn, he is that young.
I'm 20.
Holy shit!
When was the Ferguson riots?
Like 2015.
It's fucking what? 2012, 2013, something like that. Let me look it up.
Well, I feel like in 2008 is basically when social media.
Yeah, I was in middle school. Yeah, I think, or like early high.
2000, yeah. So 2008 was basically when social media started to take off and stuff. And I think that social media has played a huge role in a lot of the stuff that we deal with, and we're all kind of had to learn to adjust to this new society. People like you have basically grown up in the social media age. So I guess that's like you have to adjust to a new world. That was your world, but for a lot of people, yeah, it's the information coming out there so fast, seeing things and getting without being able to get all the facts before, and hate groups rising, people able to find each other that are linking up with the same kind of views and enforcing them, has caused some problems, which is why I don't think the echo chamber stuff is a good idea. Like I think even in our 24-hour news networks, like I think that there should only be one 24-hour news network, leave all the actual news to the local stations. But if you have these 24-hour news networks, they should have both the left and the right on at all times. So any story that comes out, you can get both perspectives, and then people can make their own decision.
This is
Having
silly.
them as two separate networks, and people can go into their echo chambers. I think that type of environment is problematic. And it's the same thing with social media. That type of environment is problematic.
Okay, so I agree that there are downsides, obviously, to pushing people into like smaller fucking like internet communities. And the reason, one of them is obviously the idea that if you're in an echo chamber, it's gonna be much harder to change your ideas. I think the benefits, though, of those ideas not being spread to a wider audience are self-evident, though. When I just think the benefits outweigh the causes.
There is more than two sides. That's correct.
Any country which will ban like.
Also, I don't know if I acknowledged you, Frackle. I got caught up, but happy holidays to you as well, Frackle.
Particularly, it does, I think, correlate with those countries' hate movements.
Frackle actually just popped in my chat to say happy holidays.
Being a neo-Nazi in Germany is not an easy lifestyle.
Happy holidays, Frackle.
Happy holidays,
dude. An argument for like being like a homogenous country because basically, yeah, it is. I'm sorry, but that's just the case. Like if we can't freaking have these arguments and we have so many different types of people here, there are going to be infighting. There is going to be hate. There's going to be a lot of that shit. And if we can't even address it, we can't even have these conversations. Then what the fuck are we doing?
Okay, so I'm trying to use the word. I don't want to use the same word you used. I don't want to be ableist right now, but okay. So you're telling me that that an argument for homogeny is the fact that people are not. You get penalized if you're racist.
No, that there's going to be hate in these countries. Like if you're
and the solution to that. The solution is there. How do you address it?
How do you make somebody not hateful?
How do you make someone very not? There's a lot of ways to do it when it comes to deprogramming and stuff like that, like giving them information that is counter to like.
So basically, you have to interact with them then.
Wait, let me finish, right? But giving them platforms does nothing but spread that tumor. I'd rather reduce the size of the tumor, okay, and try to eliminate it entirely over time, rather than let the tumor grow on the hope that the rest of the body can just fight it off.
Dylan's cooking right now.
Just ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist. Just admit that.
What?
Assuming my ideas, that's very
good.
Yo, what?
You said it earlier.
I said ignore. I never. Okay, when did I say we should ignore hate and pretend it doesn't exist?
When I said out of sight, out of mind, you basically said, yeah, they go.
No, I did not say out of sight, out of mind. I was making an argument as for why it is more beneficial to isolate radical ideas than it is to keep them out in the public sphere, right?
The only way you're gonna...
I'm not saying that's the end goal right there, just to isolate them. I think over time you should eliminate them.
Okay. Well, yeah, the only way you're going to be able to de-radicalize anybody is if you are engaging with them.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think
that is not true?
I believe it's probably.
Yeah, that I'm someone that's like a fan of debating, but that doesn't seem very true at all either. I feel like even a YouTube essay,
like it's
video essay, can radicalize people.
Yeah,
having a friend of like a certain demographic that you distrust originally can radicalize people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you're prime for that, like, if you know what I mean, it's basically like you can't speak sense to a nonsensical person. Like, you can't reason a person out of a position they did not arrive to by way of reason. If like somebody's mad because like their prom date, a black dude fucked their prom date, and now they just like hate black people forever. Like, how do you know what I mean? Like, what do you say to a person like that?
Okay, so Brittany's saying, how on earth would you radicalize someone if you don't engage with them? Like, what? LOL. Oh, Brittany, I thought when you said engage with, I thought you meant debate. Explaining that to
Nick Russ,
umbrella,
88.
That's a lot different, I guess.
Damn, so this is what Rick James was talking about when he used to call Charlie Murphy darkness.
I can't argue with the engagement.
Yep.
Expand that umbrella. It originally sounded like you just meant take on in a debate. And I just wanted to push back by saying this
politically. So I'm sorry, politically provoked. So you have like, and trust me, like, I'm from Maryland. I'm from Baltimore specifically. I'm aware of. There's a person named his name was Daryl Davis, I believe. Are you familiar with that man? Let me actually Google him really quick just to make sure I got his name
KKK
correct.
Black guy, right?
Yeah, the KKK guy. Yeah. So he actually got into a huge debate here with people like Kwame Rose and J.C. Falk and some other activists here in Baltimore, and they essentially expressed the same thing, which is like these people have to be already primed to have those ideas, right? Like the reason Daryl Davis was able to engage with him is because he was willing to be engaged with in the first place. Like there's just like in a lot of the Vice documentaries and stuff, there's areas where even I, as like a black leftist of like the Fred Hampton cloth, who like the Rainbow Coalition type leftists, right? I want to reach out to poor people of all races, right? But there's areas where I will be shot on sight, right? That's just how they move. N-words, that's no N-word territory, right? Sundown towns. I live just adjacent county to where I live, reddest county in the state, Sundown town, right? A county over from that is the headquarters of the KKK in the state, right? How am I supposed to engage with those people in the middle of the woods, right? Like, it's silly. Like, I get it from your perspective. It might be as simple as I'm just going to talk to this person and we'll have a rational conversation and I'll defeat him in the marketplace of ideas and he'll have no choice but to just rationally be a good person and not be racist anymore, right?
You're also hoping that this person that you're engaging with is actually engaging with you honestly, which 9 times out of 10 they're not.
Right, because like I said earlier, to even be of this ideology, you have to be a liar. There's certain things just like it's like walking in reality and being like the sky is red. You know what I mean? There's certain things that you have to lie to yourself about to be a white supremacist or a racist or whatever.
I legitimately feel like some people just don't know.
Honestly, not really. It's not the 1 time out of 10. It's not really worth it.
It's not, because like I said earlier, sure, if you engage with one person, say this person has 1,000 people in their audience and you reach 100 of them, cool. You just legitimized all 900 of those other nut jobs though that want to literally just go out and kill minorities.
Oh, wait. You guys are on different levels of communication right now. So unless you're talking about debating, I think Brittany's right now at this point is talking about just literally engaging.
I'm talking about the same thing. I'm talking about the exact same thing.
No.
We are talking about the same thing.
It just sounded like you were talking about like a public debate on like online, and I think Brittany just means in general.
Oh no, I'm talking
like a coworker or someone that goes.
Literally.
It could be online. It could be any of those situations.
Right. I'm talking literally. Like I said, I'm a Fred Hampton Rainbow Coalition type leftist. I want to reach out to the proletariat of all stripes and walks of life, right? And I literally just physically cannot do that because there are areas that I literally, as a black man, cannot access for any number of reasons on that level, right? And then, like we were saying earlier, once I even get let's say I even get in a dyad with them where we're unarmed and they're not going to just try to kill me, I have to assume that they're going to be engaging with me in good faith, and they're not. Because like I said earlier, to even be in that mindset in the first place, you need to lie to yourself, like walking around saying the sky is red, right? You know that black people aren't inferior. You know that we have done and continue to do a lot of things. And
I don't know. I think I feel like you think that people have like a higher level of information than they actually do. Because people defer to their lived experience, right? I think
that's facts.
Ethically, and people don't like this. I was talking to my dad about this the other day, and like he's fully on the other spectrum, other side. I think that ethically, like a lot of us are just like morally lucky, like we landed where we landed just out of like being blessed or some sort of like chance of morality. Like there's like this like beer and like Bible group that I go to, right? And it's in a place called Oviedo, Florida, where like Oviedo, Florida, if you look it up, it's really not that many minorities are out there.
Don't knock yourself, bro.
So like there was this one time where I was pretty new to that group, and we were at like some restaurant, and I ordered chicken tenders because that was the cheapest thing on the menu. It was still fucking expensive. It was like $12 for chicken tenders and fries. Like, what? You serious? Anyway, so the person next to me, I legitimately don't think he's very sheltered, in his 30s, still a virgin. And he asked me, he was like, so did you order chicken tenders because you're like genetically predisposed to liking chicken more? And I think he asked that not knowing that was just like a fucking crazy ass thing to ask somebody. And yeah, so no, I feel like certain people would have engaged with that person in a really combative way. But I legitimately saw that person as like someone that like probably hasn't interacted with that many black people in his life.
Oh yeah.
Would you have been wrong for wilding on that dude?
Man, would I? I don't know.
Because you have to really ask yourself, like, they like, I can't think of anybody, and maybe it's just like I'm like give people more credit than what they need.
But I'd be mad at myself for getting mad at him.
I would say here's the flip of that. Because I grew up in a mostly white area. I'm not going to dox myself, but I'm from Baltimore County. I grew up in a mostly white area. For significant portions of my life, I was people's only black friend. I was the token black friend or whatever.
That's a weird feeling.
And yeah, because you basically understand this is that dog is man's best friend. It doesn't mean that man doesn't see himself as a superior animal, right? And if food is scarce, no matter why food is scarce, you're always going to eat for the dog. So people will show in real situations, people show their true colors real quick. And even sometimes they'll leak. You know what I mean? They'll say stuff to you like you're not like other black people or whatever. And these will be the most liberal people you can imagine. Like they voted Obama, like on the Get Out vibes. You know what I mean? But it's
exactly.
I totally understand. And I fucking agree with you on that one. Like even within like left circles, I feel like there's like
mute cemetery. My bad, politically correct.
There are people that are marching.
You spelled my name wrong though, but I don't blame you for it. I spelled that way. I spelled it that way in a spelling bee one time.
It's a working process. It takes a long time to convert people.
I would take 100 of those though, versus anything else. Even if they're like shitty in their beliefs and their beliefs are like misguided, I know that their heart's in the right place.
Liberals?
For the most part, I'm real iffy on a lot. I'm real iffy on white liberals. At the end of the day,
I was gonna say
I'm super iffy on them.
I was gonna say from my experience and seeing people organize, not as an organizer myself, just moving in these movements, like, there's a reason why Malcolm X and Kwame Ture and Martin Luther King Jr. and all these people, Fred Hampton, why they all wrote about why the white liberal is the most dangerous thing, arguably.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I even
have like a personal story just on that alone. I remember this one actually very vividly. There's this white girl lived like right next door to like my old place, right? And I had just like purchased this house that had been converted from a 3-flat to a single family home, right? And the girl just and it was just like just in passing, right? I was saying like, hey, like, I'm your neighbor, blah blah blah. I'm introducing myself. She says, oh yeah. She said, oh, that's awesome. Like, which floor do you live on? And I was like, oh no, I own the whole house. I own the whole building. And she looked at me kind of confused. She's like, wait, you own the whole? Like, she was surprised. I'm like, yeah, no, I own the whole thing. Wow. And like I thought, and like I've had further conversation with her in the future, and she's like avid leftist, like extremely like left leaning, and that just goes to show that even like they have a hard time like erasing these preconceived notions.
There's internalized racism too, because even especially prime demographic, straight cis black men, you know what I mean? Even amongst them, there's internalized racism, hoteps and shit. They don't know it's racism, but
yeah, they are kind of racist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hoteps say some weirdly racist shit about black people.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you ask them their views on like sexuality, they like make black men sound like they're like.
Oh yeah,
we're like fucking like dogs off.
Right. Yeah, like cuckolding.
Or on the other hand, like extremely feminized.
Right. Buck breaking vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking on this, do you think that Todd is a hotep?
Who?
Do you think Todd is a hotep?
No. Wait.
Fair enough.
I don't know who that is.
I said no instinctively. Because, like, with the hotep, it comes of, like, certain beliefs, right? Certain religious beliefs. I really just think Todd's, like, one of the... Well, with hoteps, like, the mysticism belief, like, the heavy reliance on the Bible, just misreading it and misquoting the Bible.
Yeah.
But it's a heavy reliance on it. I think Todd, I think he's, like, a run-of-the-mill Republican. Like, I really do. I think he's a little bit more right of a standard Republican. But he's shifted, right? Because like a lot of Republicans kind of do lean towards more white supremacists, and Todd's definitely not that. He's not.
But he's okay with those ideals.
No, not really.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't
know.
Show the opposite.
I was gonna say I would say that if you're voting Republican, that would be a pretty clear demonstration that you're okay with voting in that direction. But
yeah, Todd he does not like the Wignats, all right? Like he'll openly like insult them and stuff. But hey, that homie is like, and I'll tell him this, like I'll say like some of his views are a little bit
of course the Wignats say Todd.
Sexist, anti-immigrant, and like
yikes.
Yeah, so that's kind of like why he's like right wing. Well, I don't even know the anti-immigrant part's accurate. Homophobic, transphobic, sexist though, yeah. He doesn't like things like welfare states. He doesn't like socialism. He doesn't like definitely not communism. I think he's more of a free market kind of guy, with less government intervention. He has weird thoughts about Jewish people. Try to think of everything else he said in public.
So then he's what's that dude's name?
He's not as bad as Jesse Lee Peterson.
I was gonna say Jesse Lee Peterson. That's actually exactly where I was at.
That dude is like drunk and sober at the same time.
He doesn't like the gay community and the queer. He doesn't like the queer community. He doesn't like white. Well, Jesse Lee Peterson likes white nationalists too much.
I saw
Black Hebrew Israelite.
That shit is wild. Yeah, that shit is wild.
Oh yeah, when I say hotep, that's what I mean.
Same.
Black Israelite.
Well, I think like Todd is like just like that.
I saw the picture of
like the reliance on the Bible though.
I saw the picture of Jesse Lee Peterson with the shirt tail and the bag full of cotton, like he was out in the field picking cotton, and I was just like, nah, I'm good on this dude forever.
Yeah, I feel like JLP would think he'd be in the house because I heard him argue for slavery, like in arguing for.
That's wild. It's like nah.
Like returning to slavery, chattel slavery.
He doesn't.
JLP. He said something like, "Well, the black."
I don't think JLP is a real person, dude.
Say black people again. I want to meet JLP in real life. I want to.
Yeah, I really wish people. I really
did a great job against JLP, but I want to.
I don't think he's a real person.
I think DC Young Fly is still the best JLP interview.
I thought DC. Oh wait, that was a different comedian.
He told him he had Beijing in his mustache.
he debated he DC Young Fly debated JLP.
Nah, he went on the show. Yeah, he brings on comedians. Oh my god, it's hilarious. I laughed so fucking hard, my guy. I can't believe you haven't seen it. It's the best, hands down. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but he tells me he has Beijing in his nose. Oh my god, you have to see that shit. Oh my god. It's the most some of the most hilarious. It's premium content. It's black excellence. It's black excellence for sure. He fucking yeah, that dude. I completely forgot what I was gonna say behind that. That shit is hilarious.
Yeah, I need to look up Tommy Sotomayor. I've heard Todd talk about Tommy Sotomayor in a very high light. I've never heard fucking goofball. Like a week or two ago when Todd talked about it.
Bootstrap black guy. Basically, this black guy got super rich, climbed the ladder, pulled it up behind him. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, conservatives love those types of black people because
like Officer Tatum type.
Yeah, like what's
Officer Tatum literally talks about. I just fucking like, and I'll make fun of somebody for this if they deserve it. But this motherfucker Officer Tatum literally like started a broken home, bro. Like this cat like is not married to his baby mom.
Sheriff David Clark vibes.
Marry their baby mom tomorrow. I'm like, bro, why don't you do some practice, dog? Why don't you marry your baby mom? And I unless you say some shit.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, he had it.
Damn, this tea is too hot.
Like 10 years ago, he's not married. He's dating some other white lady.
Damn, real barbershop vibes right now.
Oh, so he's also like another what's his name? The male coach, the black guy who like talks about relationships all the time.
Oh, fucking Kevin Samuels?
Yeah, Kevin Samuels.
Officer Tatum goes on PragerU. He's a cop, right? He's like
yeah.
Right.
Well, ex-cop.
Something about the football player to fucking like conservative black guy pipeline that's going on. Maybe it's like the head injuries. Maybe it's being treated so well by your white peers.
It's class. You get money and you get around other people that have money, and it changes your view.
I feel like no, because I think he stopped playing after college or after high school or something like that, and like he decided to become a cop instead. Yeah, so
there's two vibes. There's like for like poor people, it's like weird ass like Stockholm syndrome shit that like we got from the old heads where they like were so traumatized that they mistook conformity for safety in a lot of cases, which was the case, you know what I mean? So it's not, you know, it's a trauma response, so you can only say so much about it. But the other thing is definitely like you climb the ladder and pull it up behind you, you know what I'm saying? You get money and you see it as not that you were curated specifically to be in the position that you were in by people to do what you're doing, but that you got it out the mud, you worked hard. Why can't everybody else work just as hard as you? And
yeah,
Lil Wayne vibes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I feel like there's something about like when black men get treated really, really well by white people, they start coming conservative like that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like football players, boom. Like just like Officer Tatum, and other people like fucking Morgan Freeman, for example, like don't do that shit. It's very fucking weird. It's really weird. Yeah, I don't know. I just know people in real life that are like that.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, I was the star of my football team in high school, and I had all these white girls on my dick. So like, white people weren't that bad. They all celebrated me.
Hustle, mind, grind set.
Yeah, if that.
And it would be really awesome if one of these guys just like said psych, like after like making all their money. Like it would be like so great to see somebody like Candace Owens like say, nah, I was just playing. Like I'm actually a lefty. I just like wanted to get my
I've contemplated doing something like that, like just giving myself 3 first names and putting a MAGA hat on and just sitting in my car and saying wild shit on TikTok.
3 first names.
Yeah.
Like what's his name? ABL.
Anthony Brian Logan.
That guy's a can I say coon? Is that allowed to say? Am I allowed to say that?
I don't know. It's a slur. It is a slur.
It's a well-deserved slur. If I call you that word,
it means something different now, modern, like, you know, colloquially, but their origins of it are definitely not so great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Boy, man. It's well-deserved. I don't think I've called somebody that word and they didn't deserve it. My opinion. I've called myself that too. Like I remember like never mind. College cringe. I was cooning out.
Oh man, like, Nick knows the lyrics. That's what's up. My brother.
Oh my god. I said he had some value, guys.
I don't know about all that.
Fucking A shit. All right, I guess we're gonna power through. We're gonna power through.
Let's keep going.
Damn, I love this shit. We need to do this shit more, bro. This is
dude, I'm telling you, like I've been trying to get people like really like pop on and do these streams for quite some time, but like it got to be the right people, you know?
Yeah, it has to be the right vibe.
Yeah.
This is the Getty. This is the Getty.
So you think social media is the game changer then? That before it was decreasing, but now shall forever.
I think so. You know what I think also is when we started to have all this stuff in your face and stuff, and then with Twitter, people like are constantly trying to out woke each other, and we're pushing so much change onto people so fast, and a lot of them they can't handle that change. There's no escape for some people who are like in these rural areas that they didn't have to deal with that before. They were able to kind of just like and it was again.
Nah, leave him for now. He hasn't said anything else. I've noticed him. Trust me. That was wild, but he hasn't said anything else. So
it is freaking them out because all they are also seeing is the characters that they are being told. And if you don't start to engage with these people and ease some of those fears, you're going to have a lot of reactionary stuff going on, and that could be a little bit dangerous.
Okay, so what you're saying, okay, can you try to clarify what
he's not in my chat anymore. I think he's in one of their chat, and that's why he hasn't said anything else in here.
I think that people a lot of it is more in your face than it used to be. So a lot of the trans stuff, people just got used to the LGBT stuff, and now the trans stuff is coming at people hard, and it's freaking them out. You have all the the riots and stuff that you're seeing. Okay.
I'm doing another dab, BRB.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. These are things that have always been around. They're just more visible now. It's not that.
No, it's
wait. Let Dylan respond. Come on.
The one man shall speak over. Okay?
I'm sorry. Before I do the dab, that was crazy. Yeah, Dylan also has the correct take here.
Let me have fun. Okay? It's Christmas Day. Let me pause.
I like that howdy.
Thank you for the follow, politically provoked.
Right? Like I like doing burns a lot. Yeah.
Let me give you my fucking Christmas present for my building a pasta Chud. Jesus Christ. Okay. So my hair, wonderful. So fuck Chud, you fucking made me forget my name.
Nailed it.
Okay. So
because Dylan gets all flustered whenever he's in CTV's presence.
It was visibility. Okay. So rioting. A lot of people might not know this. During the civil rights movement.
Good old CTV. Hell yeah, brother.
The civil rights movement was extremely violent. At least in comparison to BLM. There was definitely a lot of riots during the civil rights movement. There was literally something called like the fucking ghetto uprising. Okay.
When TVs started to come out. TVs weren't home.
Like the Voting Rights Act happened literally because black people rioted for like 4 days straight after Martin Luther King got assassinated. Like that's literally like one of the most brain dead takes ever. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if
it just comes from a misunderstanding of history overall.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but like it just pains me when I hear that shit because it's just like not like people don't know that Rosa Parks' husband was a card carrying communist, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
that MLK was a socialist,
right? But I'm sorry, you can keep it going. I just heated up my nail.
24-hour news coverage in combination. Let me finish, Brittany. Right winger, because you're gonna make me fucking sexist. Okay? So it is Brittany. There's a difference between TVs in the 1960s. Okay, when you had the guy come on TV and like Saigon has fallen. Okay, and that was the 70s still. And there's a difference between that and 24-hour news coverage combined with social media where everybody is going to be a newscaster because they can take out their phone and take pictures inside of a riot and live stream everything. Because you want to know what I'm doing right now as a streamer, being able to broadcast news every day.
Politically Provoked is we're watching her in this video, or Brittany from Politically Provoked. We're watching them in this video.
Where there's constantly things happening at all times that you can constantly research and look at. If I wanted to, I could do a 24-hour stream just looking at Twitter and constantly be consuming new information at any point. That is not something we've had in the past. And so when I say things are more visible, I'm being honest. For example, the trans stuff. While of course there has been progression on these issues, trans people have been part of the queer movement for a long time. If you look at Stonewall, the people that were at the cornerstone of that riot, which was a riot, people try to like rebroadcast it as like it was like a peaceful whatever. It was a riot against cops brutalizing the queer community. Was trans black people. They were the cornerstone of that. Trans people of color. And so a lot of people like to be like, oh, this trans.
Yeah, Fade.
It's not a new thing.
It's like that.
It's become more visible and it's reached the center of the conversation. That's the difference now.
Oh, come on. You know that's not true. It's become a lot. Like, maybe because we are becoming more tolerant, I guess you would say. So there seems to be a lot more, but it was not like this before. And you know it, and you're being dishonest when you say it was. Just because you're claiming it's more visible. No.
That's a great argument.
There seems to be a freaking rise in it as well. So
she's fucking stupid for this take. I'm sorry.
Of people are seeming to identify in the LGBTQ community.
Well, of course, because if you stop saying if you're gay, we're going to disown you and you no longer have a job, then more people are going to be able to openly say yes, I'm gay.
Well, yeah, so then it's going to be a lot more of this.
Not even just that. Gay people and trans people got killed. Still get killed, bro. Like, I'm sorry. You didn't have to pause that. Just to throw that out there. Like here in Baltimore too. Like, yeah.
That is just due to visibility.
Oh wait.
There's not more rioting now than there was.
She doesn't understand her own perspective. Outside her own perspective, these movements didn't exist till they were visible to her. Yeah, of course. That's how they always are.
And again, also there was
So what? That would still be a concession. This isn't like but because you're trying to pretend that like social media has like spawned more rioting than ever.
There's moments throughout history where you're gonna have spikes of these kind of things that are happening.
So this isn't a new development. This is just one more step in the civil rights struggle.
There are things that are sparking them.
Literally arguing to Dylan's point.
Okay, so what you're saying then is not that rioting is this new development. Like, oh my God, there's more rioting than ever. Then that wouldn't be the argument then, because then the statement would just be we're seeing rioting more than ever because more people can like cover rioting through their phones and through Twitch streams and that. It's not there's no material difference between the amount of rioting that was happening in the 1960s and now. If anything, it's more peaceful now.
No, in my lifetime and in yours, there's more.
How? Prove it.
Okay, for you, you're 20 years old. Like when was the last time we were going through all this shit in your lifetime?
So you're that's not proving it. That's
no,
no. You prove to me that now is more violent than the civil rights struggle of the 60s.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. That's my claim though.
Okay, so what is your claim?
I'm saying that what people are seeing, and a lot of these people are going through, they're seeing a rise in it now. It's not like it wasn't like this like 10, 15 years ago.
Because
it's happening now,
visible.
and there's a lot more of it, and not on top of it, it's in your face more. And a lot of people, I think they do it because of social media, because they're trying to spark something. And
this is holy shit. This is cancer.
MLK's thing is he wanted to provoke some of these cops to do things so that they could in front of the camera, so that people would see what was actually happening. And it seems like a lot of people take those approaches as well.
John Lewis had an entire concept called Good Trouble.
You're kind of jumping around here, but
you're going to all kinds of different time zones. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, calm down. Okay, so when it comes to the civil rights movement, right? If any time that there's like a political issue that like becomes like evident, definitely when it comes to something like civil rights, there's gonna be more attention to it. It's gonna spike dialogue, and then the far right's gonna get angry because they feel like they're losing the power and they're gonna resist it. And of course, the people who want civil rights are going to go out there and try to do it. And these things happen throughout time. Movements start, movements end. And yeah, that's the thing. But there isn't anything special about the idea that now, due to social media, it's been more violent than ever. So there's nothing. So what I'm going to say right now is there's nothing special about this that is an argument against
cancer reporting for duty. Oh, I hope I don't offend.
I don't understand, like, what's the point of what you're saying?
If you want to jump in like a Discord call or something later and defend yourself, I promise I'll be gentle. I won't be as vicious. I'm going to tone it down too if you're offended, if I'm being too disrespectful with the ad homs. Because I definitely called you stupid too.
A lot of our history as well being pumped into people, and so many white people on top of it being very anti-white.
You're kidding? Oh, okay, that's true.
Why they don't think about yeah, I don't know why they don't think about the fact that this could actually backfire on them as well. Because if this is just like purely a racial thing, and you have somebody where I've seen videos where black people literally going
people like you are the types of people I like to talk to, by the way, because you're actually receptive.
The bad white person, are you the lefty white person, or are you the freaking right?
Just so you know, politically provoked.
So when people are pushing this stuff and we see this happening, it freaks people out. It freaks me out.
You know, the best way for you to avoid being in those situations.
Social media.
Just literally don't be in a situation where there's a whole bunch of racist white people.
And so it's pissing people more off. Therefore, this is an argument against homogeneous society. I mean, a multicultural society, and an argument for a homogeneous society, because in a homogeneous society, we wouldn't have these problems.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of problems that we're not able to address because we have a lot more infighting and stuff than some of the other countries that might be a little bit more homogeneous.
So the solution here wouldn't be, now let's end our multicultural society. The solution here... because it's impossible, so entertaining it is stupid. It would be like saying, oh, the way to end cancer is to end humanity, because then cancer couldn't succeed. It's like, it's literally, it's not something you can really entertain. The solution here would be, what I'm arguing for right now, would be the regulation of social media platforms. What you're arguing for would just lead to even more infighting and make all the problems you're talking about right now 10 times worse. Do you really think, wait. Do you really think all the neo-Nazis that have been banned off of Twitter and Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, if they were given back their social media profiles, the amount of polarization in this country would increase or decrease?
Yeah, no, it probably would increase and stuff. But again,
so what's the problem?
what I'm saying is that you need to also start push, and lefties could probably do this as well. Start pushing some of these things that will ease some of people's fears as well. Like I really think that we need to close the borders. I don't think we need any more immigrants in here, and I think
no.
a long way. I mean, Trump literally won an entire election, like the worst possible.
That's like saying ban black people because people are racist.
Just on build the wall. That's how much it's freaking people out, and it's freaking a lot of people out.
Okay, so we have a labor shortage right now. I think
AI will take care of that.
Who will take care of it?
AI.
This is a wild take, though.
You think that if we were to shut off the borders, AI now would be able to be a solution for our labor shortage? Okay, so you don't want. So you want.
They both have wild takes here, in my opinion.
And do you think AI can, for example, AI is really needed in a lot of industries? Like, for example, I'm a Marylander. I know a little bit about East Coast issues, like coastal issues, even though this isn't really our coastal issues, but we have, but for a lot of people who do, I think it was either shrimping, I think specifically, needs a lot of foreign labor because a lot of American shrimpers, even though it pays really good, it's very labor intensive. And we have a lot of people in Mexico who are really good.
I was just going to say, if you want to pause really quick.
Because the shrimping industry is suffering right now because they're hiring Americans to go out there.
Because I'm from this state and the crab industry is like that as well. Just really the seafood processing industry here in Maryland, because like he said, it's so labor intensive. A lot of that labor is necessarily going to end up being immigrant labor. So, you know, that's a take to have. I'll say that much. But yeah, that's really labor intensive. The market for it is always booming here. People always want seafood, so there's always a demand. It's not really sustainable in a lot of cases, but yeah, even though it pays really well, it doesn't have great conditions. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there.
And then also, like, what ends up being the end goal of this? Like okay, let's just pretend, for instance, that we ended all immigration, right? Like, are we thinking that like these particular like
somebody got banned
balls that like are like
the hammer got swung,
the trade itself, are they going to be like filled, or are we just going to see a shortage in these things overall?
The white supremacist take is that, and this is, like I said, this is just like repackaged stuff. Like, this is what Abraham Lincoln was on with the American Colonization Society when they wanted to just get all the black people together and send us back to Africa. You know what I mean? They think that white people, like poor white people, will end up doing that stuff because they're still capitalists.
They don't want to do it. That's the
right. Part. Yeah, because you still have, if you're a capitalist, you still need class stratification. So you'll still need low wage, you know, intensive labor, but still quote unquote unskilled labor jobs. And they think that like it'll be like on like they'll be on coal miner times, you know what I mean? As long as white people are doing it, it's cool. It'll just be poor white people doing it, and they think they won't be the one cleaning the toilet. It's like anarcho-capitalist vibes, you know what I mean? They think they're going to be the ones with they think they're going to be the ones with like the feudal kingdom and the toll roads and all that stuff, and they're going to be someone's sex slave.
But what's actually like even more interesting is that like the things that they're like advocating for, and this is going to come up later on in debate. Brittany's going to go over the you know, the different levels of like potential for automation within these particular subjects. So let's just pretend that we like get rid of all this immigration and there's like no low skill work, no low wage labor anymore. So you would just ask yourself, like, why are you like trying to essentially like ruin the lives of like poor people within all these areas? Because if the price of labor is going to go up, right, because there's less people to work these jobs, we're going to see these get automated anyways, because businesses are going to want to pay somebody $20 an hour if they can pay a machine. They can invest that same money in a machine that they could pay significantly less. Oh, it doesn't end up like helping anybody. Overall, it ends up just making our whole situation worse, accelerating it essentially.
You would have to have like UBI or something like that, because you would just you would have an entire section of society that just would not be able to sustain life. And if you have if you want to go super ham with it and go super social Darwinism with it, you know what I mean? Then fuck them. If you don't got bread, then you can't get fed. It is what it is, doggy. You know what I'm saying? It's a dog-eat-dog world out here. It's a cold game.
1 second, guys. I gotta hit the pisser real quick.
Word. Go ahead.
Back.
I'm sure a little Timmy wouldn't appreciate that world, but
Brittany said in chat.
Never getting.
You forgot to mention healthcare in this. Big whoopsie on your part. You won't make that mistake again. What was your healthcare thing? Do you want to? Are you for Medicare for all or against Medicare for all?
Well, she's saying that we'll never get single payer healthcare if there's still influx of immigration within the country.
I mean, definitely if Republicans are in charge, especially because they don't want Medicare for all at all, but they're definitely not going to push for it if that's their whole game. They don't want anything if immigrants and minorities get it too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But but yeah, I will say that I could pretty affirmatively say on pretty good authority, at least with my limited knowledge and authority, that I'm quite certain that immigration is not the reason that we won't get Medicare for all.
Oh, without question. The only reason why we won't get Medicare for all is that like we are way beyond the point where like we essentially ruined the tax system. What is in the 70s or the 80s? I can't remember which one it was. I think that like if we had had our older tax system from way back when, you know, when people at the top were paying significantly more, we could have actually had these things. You know, because we have better tax receipts. You know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Am I a Bernie supporter? Yes and no. Pragmatically, I'm a Bernie supporter, but my like base position, like my principle, like I'm vocally a Bernie supporter, yes, and that if you're going to do electoralism and engage in the system, then you should probably vote Bernie. But I am an anarchist. I do not believe the United States government is legitimate, personally. Did I support his healthcare plan? I did. If we're going to live under the United States hegemon, I would prefer that Bernie Sanders be the president. Why is anarchist funny? Did I say something funny?
Wait, who are you speaking?
I'm sorry, politically provoked is in my chat. Right now? Yeah, I'm an anarcho-communist. Sorry, yeah.
She's in your chat.
Yeah, provoked is in my chat. Sorry, I didn't mute because I didn't know if you guys wanted in on this conversation.
Oh well, she's in this chat too.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
So the person that you're talking to, politically provoked, is actually the person who's like on this debate right now.
Yeah. I understood that. I figured that out.
Okay.
Do you why is free healthcare for undocumented immigrants bad? Can you convince me why that's bad?
Just to probably steel man her point, I think she's gonna say something along the lines of
the drain on the tax. Yeah,
paying for undocumented immigrants to have surgeries and stuff like that.
That's facts.
But I don't think it's gonna be like a massive burden on taxpayers.
I was gonna say if
we have the data on this, we have the data on this already. Anyways,
it's just people that are like documented paying taxes. They're also undocumented taxpayers as well. Every time someone buys something here, they're paying tax, right? Every time somebody does other things, they're paying taxes as well.
Right.
The only income tax isn't the only tax in the United States.
Yeah, and undocumented immigrants pay taxes, first of all, but second of all, we have infinite potential to destroy human life with our funds, right? So why don't we have infinite potential to repair and mend human life with that same pool of funds?
Hold on, it's like breaking up a little bit.
Just because they're on the other side of an imaginary line. Because they look different? Is that why?
Yeah, it's like breaking up.
Because they sound different?
Is breaking up for you, man?
Oh, you know what? I know what it is.
Did your dog choose something?
No. She.
We won't be able to pay for our own people, let alone everyone else. We don't say that about when we want to put sanctions on another country or when we want to invade another country. You know what I mean, we literally have endless funds to do that. We want to give money to the police. We have infinite money. We put the cheat code in for that. That's been demonstrated. time and time again.
In Florida, it's illegal to remove funds from police funding anymore.
It's not the same. How?
Made it. Like literally, like he'll state funding from any city that even if you took like $100 off the police budget, you leave all your state funding behind by doing that. Which is fucking crazy as shit to me. That's how it is.
So I will give you that they're not the same, because one is, like I said, one is destroying human life and the other is mending human life. So that's a fair point. But
another thing, just so everybody has this in their back pocket, when people talk about universal healthcare, that expands a lot of different options for preventative care. So when they have it,
I'm so glad you were saying this right now.
Is what?
I was just saying I'm so glad you're saying this right now, because I was about to say this.
yeah. There's like a thing where like black men don't go to the doctor, right? I can't think of the last time I went to like get a physical ever. Like I know I did sometime in college, but like it's probably been like around like 5 years since we've gotten a physical, and 5 years before that was the last time I got a physical. So one time in high school, one time in college, and I'm well out of college at this point in my life. The last 2 times I got physicals, and like for a lot of black men, like things like going to the dentist, going to the eye doctor once a year, or whatever, however long you're supposed to do that, I don't fucking know. Like
it's
doctor, like we don't really do that
for sure.
It's just like culturally it's not there, but also like economically it doesn't make sense. I'd much rather
exactly
pay a bill versus like do something preventative.
Exactly.
I have to eat less salt. Okay, whatever, doctor. Like like.
Exactly, it's a class thing. Like if you're like a Uber driver or immigrant or whatever, you're like I'm trying to think of, if you're a poor white, you know what I'm saying, like a trailer park white person, like the most pejorative, like if you hate poor people, like the poorest white person you could think of, like one of those people. You know what I mean? They just literally can't afford, insurance to have regular dentist visits, regular doctor's visits,
A lot of these issues are extremely universal. Like
exactly.
There
racism hurts poor white people. It hurts white. Like,
it does.
Will find a way to hurt you.
It does.
Like,
little Timmy can't get glasses because you don't want immigrants to get health care. Do you understand that?
Little Timmy can't learn how to swim in a public pool because you don't want black kids swimming in it.
Yeah, like this is the point.
Public pools.
If I have to have black people in the pool, I just really just not have the pool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I wonder how many kids like lost I don't know, like opportunities to discover like a talent within themselves that they didn't know they had.
Little Timmy has to go to school hungry because you don't want immigrants to get health care. It's crazy. It's truly crazy.
Real quick, I'm glad you brought this up. She says, "You're right, Todd. This is why multiracial societies don't work. We can't address these issues because of all this kind of fighting.
Multiracial societies don't work because of racists. Yeah, multiracial societies don't work because of racists. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, it feels like you're blaming. It feels like you're blaming the victims.
It's just pure projection
versus it's like, why are you projecting the blame onto victims rather than to the people that are the perpetrators of the wrong, right? That'd be the same as like seeing the Twin Towers. You're like, man, the Twin Towers sure are really high. Then like driving a plane to the Twin Towers and you hit them because the Twin Towers are so fucking high. Like, why are you blaming the Twin Towers for getting hit? Is what I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense. You can't sanely attack the victim. That's just wrong on all counts, is attacking the victim. I know you're better than that, and I know you're just saying that to be a troll, you little asshole. I don't think she actually believes that. To be
multiracial. Oh yeah, well, I don't know. I gotta, you gotta check people
because
sometimes.
It's not working. It's not that what I want. It's not that I want it this way.
It really feels like that is exactly what you want.
Reality of it. All right, but let's. All right, so when we're thinking about solutions and things like that, why are we framing the problem as if it's the victim's fault for things? Like that's one thing that we need to take care of and solve, right? The next thing is
why is it an issue to try to solve a problem? That's my biggest thing. Like we can argue about the ways to solve the problem, but the problem needs to be solved. Like everybody will be better for a lot of these issues that a lot of leftists advocate for, even if they don't advocate for it in the correct ways.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I was gonna say though that also because I got sidetracked about when you brought up the black men, and I went into poor people like not going to get preventative care. Preventative care, if that was offered to everyone and that was easily available to that level beyond there being a stigma to getting it, yeah, that would reduce the cost of healthcare. Whereas when you're talking about stuff like warfare, that's like, it's like buying a car, right? The car constantly depreciates. When you're buying vehicles and troops and, you know, war making technology, that stuff degrades and gets used over time, especially the human beings that you use. You know, veterans are very expensive and they still don't get adequate services. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
True.
Hey, let's answer Nick's question. So I'm just gonna pose it out there. Says you can get $500,000, but you have to leave the country. Like, do you take that $500,000?
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Do you understand they already tried this, dude? Like, it's called, look this up. It's called the American Colonization Society, and it's a place over there in Africa right now called Liberia. See how they're doing over there. See how that worked out. Let me know what you find.
It's not even that. It's like, dog, it's like
you can't just give people money and then expect them to like just create a whole new society. Society takes time.
Because someone else doesn't like me. Not because I did anything wrong. Because people don't like me for some immutable characteristics about me. Why would I have to leave this? Why would I have to leave this fucking place?
Here's a question for you, Nick. Here's a question for you. What if there was another white person who wanted to pay me $100,000 to stay, or $1 million to stay? Then what?
That's actually a good question.
He wants to pay me. He hears, oh, they want to pay you $500,000 to leave. Well, I want to pay you $1 million to stay and work on my in my solar sexual anarchist fucking orgy lounge, cleaning up,
this country a better place.
Mopping and serving drinks.
Yeah, and one other thing is,
you don't even have an answer.
One other thing as well, like,
he doesn't even have an answer.
Nationalists and neo-Nazis will ask this question, right? The $500K in your pocket, leave the country. Like this is always a baby step to something else. Eventually the 500K becomes too expensive per person, and people look for cheaper, more violent, more dehumanizing options. Like this is not even a real fucking question. Like if this is like dignified, even if like tomorrow there's some law being like 500K to leave the country, like that degrades, right?
They got
a timer on it to go to worse things.
They got infinite money to make anybody who isn't white leave. You know what I'm saying? It's infinite money. They got the cheat code for that. Can't give immigrants health care. That's expensive. But you got the cheat code when it comes to making all the brown people get out. God mode activated.
I think I'll stay in America. Thank you. I'll take the 500K to stay in America. Thanks.
I'm American.
I guess for now. I will see about that in 50 years.
Yeah, I mean, and the bigger question is, why do I have to leave?
Why don't you go somewhere, bro?
Yeah,
go
exactly.
get convinced all your white supremacist ethno-state buddies to pull your funds. Get some NFTs or something, bro. Go buy an island or something, bro.
Go to fucking Poland.
You're in the wrong spot. This ain't Coinbase, bro. This is Twitch. You in the wrong spot. This ain't Coinbase. This Twitch. This ain't Robinhood.
He said he'll sweeten a deal with us by giving us a set of sweet 24-inch rims. No one even rides 24s even more.
All right. We do 30s.
Where 6s are bigger these days.
I'll only leave.
Like,
I'll tell you.
Cool, dog. Like they're better for your gas mileage, dude.
I'll tell you the condition. I'll tell you the condition.
He thinks they're cool. That's why he said they're a sweet set of 24s.
Oh, true.
I
thought you meant that as like an insult, as like a knock. I'm like, I don't know if that's like the insult you think it is, dog.
Here's the conditions by which I'll leave, though. I will leave. I'll tell you how I'll leave. I'm coming back. It's only gonna be it's gonna be a 20-year bid, right? I will leave for 20 years, but you have to choose. Your mother, your wife, or your daughter comes with me for all 20 of those years. Your choice.
Fuck. Oh my god.
Let's see who's gonna say. Let's see who's gonna say.
No. This isn't the fucking Nick 88 stream. This is a fucking Dylan Burns, Brittany stream.
Oh shit. This is actually a lot more hard than I thought.
And Brittany, thanks for rocking it with us.
Then they got to go home.
Yeah, thanks for being a good sport, Brittany. We appreciate you.
Them back, and they lose seasonal fishing time because they got to bring this person back who's no longer working for them. They got a person they fed no longer working for them, and that's giving them major overhead costs that they would rather not be able to do because they have veteran shrimpers right over the border that could be helping the American economy and helping this American business that they no longer have access to. And AI is not going to fix the shrimping economy.
He's speaking facts right now.
The stuff you're talking about with AI is shit we're not going to see for like hundreds of years. Not in my lifetime.
No, wait.
You think there's going to be AI shrimpers in my lifetime doing AI shrimping? You have no clue. You have no clue.
I haven't looked into the shrimping industry, so I'm not going to be able to comment on that.
Yeah, I'm talking about the real result of closing the borders. These industries are going to be hurt brutally.
Exactly, Freckle. You were 1000% correct.
Hey, Tosh.
Yeah.
Log back into your Discord real quick.
Log on into my Discord? Okay.
Yeah.
Someone messaged me on Discord. Do you want me to keep it playing or?
Keep it playing.
Oh, keep it playing? Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that AI is going to affect like literally every single industry across the board. Everything. And most of it's going to start with the low-skilled labor. What's coming in from south of the border? It is going to be mostly low-skilled labor. So we're bringing in people that are going to be replaced. I'm still talking. We're bringing in people that are going to be replaced by AI when we're going to have so many Americans already affected by that. Why are we bringing in these people if we don't have to? Sure. Okay. I guess in the short term, yeah, fine, whatever you can say. But a lot of jobs right now in general, people are just doing it from home. Like, I don't know. I mean, we have people, like, we have the labor here. We have a lot of immigrants here. We have a lot of undocumented immigrants here. I don't know how like much we really need this labor when by the time like it would be a problem, I think AI will be taking over it.
Okay, so right now, not in the future, because what you're doing right now is speculating about how the economy will evolve by like general ideas. You don't really. I'm not an expert in AI, and I doubt you're an expert in AI, right? I'm somebody. I'm like. I try to research foreign relations. I'm not really an AI guy. And apparently I'm now the resident expert on shrimp on Twitch, apparently. I know more than everyone else about shrimp. But what we're talking about right now is speculating. Me and you have no idea exactly when AI is going to start like taking over these jobs perfectly. Yang ran a campaign off of it, but we don't know. And considering that, closing the borders right now economically is a dumb thing to do when you're compounding the fact that we're having this labor shortage with the fact that, one second, somebody just sent me a message. Give me a moment.
No, they're giving you information, huh?
The shrimp mafia is coming in.
Coaching. That's illegal.
CTV, is there anything?
That's a violation.
I'm sure I just moderate this first again. So go on.
I want to read this and just give your chat a little bit of a red pill here because I'm going to give some numbers on if a machine could take your job. So I'm going to go through this. So food preparation and service, 81% risk of automation. Production operations, 79% risk of automation. Office and administration,
Brittany, he absolutely meant
support,
that.
60%. Farming, fishing, there's your shrimp fucker, and forestry, 56%. Transportation and material moving, 55%. Construction and extraction, 50%. Installation, maintenance, and repair, 49%.
Hold on, pause. If you can, please pause this really quick, just because
40%.
Brittany's in here and she's listening to us.
Computer and math, 37%.
Rest assured, I promise you, friend, I promise you, boots on the ground. Dylan will tell you. I will tell you. We obviously this is my first time listening to this, so I don't know if he goes in on this, but. If him telling you wasn't enough, I promise you that industry is absolutely not at risk. Absolutely not at risk of being taken over by AI anytime soon in the near future. I promise you. But yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I had to ban Nick. He talked about pinging people like wind chimes.
Oh yikes! Yeah, get him the fuck out of here.
Okay, I get the idea. Right?
Okay, AI is coming for every job.
Okay. So the thing is, definitely when it comes to things,
y'all know what to do in here.
Like,
y'all know what to do in here for him too.
Are staying here because of visa overstays. It isn't because they were officially made citizens or they like just like crossed blah blah blah. It was because visa overstays. So
yeah, expensive healthcare is uniquely American.
Shortage, right? Now, when the AI starts taking these jobs and workers start and these industries start doing this, and they're citizens of other countries, undocumented or otherwise, what's the options that's going to be laid out before them? Leaving is going to be one option, right? The other option is going to be getting an education to like
expensive housing.
That's of course going to be
kind of American.
What state they live in and what type of education they
get.
And a lot of states are actually, like in my state, I was
just a little bit.
General Assembly when this law was passed, are allowing for undocumented students to undocumented young people to actually be able to get in-state public tuition costs for education. Legislation like that can help people actually transform for the modern service economy, modern information economy. And so the idea of like, well, let's restrict the labor that we need desperately right now due to the labor shortage in these industries like shrimping, which is just the example we're going off today. Let's close off the border to solve this future issue when we're facing issues based off of a labor shortage right now, because one day, even though we don't know for sure, AI is going to be taking these jobs. We don't know when they're going to take them, how many they're going to take, what percentage of them are going to be taken.
This is all true,
I think what we should do is let the economy naturally evolve, because when jobs dry up, immigration dries up. The reason why everybody in the world wants to come to the United States is because there's good job and good pay. If those jobs are drying up,
that is true. That's absolutely true.
Entire thing about all the percentages, and that's very shameful.
Yes, yeah, no, I was listening to the fucking percentages thing. I was texting my dad. I was listening to it, but yeah, no, dude, that's all. That's still listen. Listen to what? No, listen to this numbers. Read out the numbers again. Read it again. I'll tell you something about those numbers.
Oh my god! But wait, let me just before I do that, let me just say something. And like, so Bill Gates had a proposal that I thought was really interesting that would basically tax the machines that are going to take people's jobs and use that money to invest in retraining people that could be displaced. Something like that would be a good program to have.
That's
because
true,
we need to start
Frackle.
preparing people for this, and it is coming. And I don't like when people, it's funny because leftists have been the ones who have been pushing this, but all of a sudden you turn it to an immigration discussion. It's all like, oh, you're being paranoid. AI is not coming for anything.
You turned it into an immigration discussion.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying when it, like, lefties are the ones who were pushing the fact that AI is coming for jobs and we need to prepare for it. But when you start talking about it in an immigration sense, that's when they start saying, oh, well, you're being paranoid about this. The AI is not coming for anything. It's gonna be 100 years down the road, and it's just dishonest. But okay, I'll read the percentages. And I know chat is super excited to hear them again. They're very excited. Okay.
And can you say the source quick, please?
I have to look for that. I have a freaking. Shut up. All right. So okay, I make these little things. All right. So food preparation and services, 81%. Production operation, 79%.
81% what? Say what it is.
The risk of automation.
Risk of automation. Okay. So that's the thing that's interesting to me. It's risk of automation, and you're reading off the number. It's not saying how much of this industry will exactly be automated.
Right.
It's not saying exactly like, oh, this is the risk that it will be automated. It's like throwing out random percentages for what might happen, right? So again, this is all speculation, right? We have no clue.
Yeah.
It's not saying
and
that,
jobs
actually.
being taken over by
machines
is only bad under capitalism. That's exactly correct. I'm sorry. Jobs being taken over by machines is only bad when you need to do a job to survive under capitalism. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I feel that. I understand what you're saying with that. That's interesting, though. That's such a good rebuttal on Dylan's end. I think Brittany did a decent job of bringing up that study, but I think Dylan did a great job.
Yeah, she was cooking with that. She had that on lock. She did have that on deck. She had that tucked. I'll give her that.
Damn.
Yeah, but even then, like, just
Dylan Burns. They don't call him Burns for nothing.
She had that shot tucked, but he had the vest on. You know what I mean? So
I like that one. I like that one.
He was wearing his vest.
But like, just like, there's also another big thing as well. Like, there's like a such thing as like kind of just like throwing out just like a bunch of stats like at one time, and like hoping that like the other person like can't rebut them or just doesn't have this like strategy
gish galloping
rebut them. Yeah, gish galloping. Yeah, but like at the end of the day, like those stats are meaningless without context.
Right.
Like these jobs being at risk for automation, like this
numbers don't lie.
That's
Liars
probably
love
going to
numbers.
happen anyways with our current levels of immigration. So, I mean, what do you think is going to happen when we need more of this labor? What do you think happens? Like, you have to, if you're going to like advocate for these types of things, you would have to also advocate for, I don't know, like some type of like forced birth, like type of plan or something like that, because we still need people to work the jobs.
Yeah, you would have to have like a both quota. Oh, look, it's Nick in chat. Hold on, let me deal with this man in chat.
Hey, in chat?
Don't ban him yet. Don't ban him yet. Ask him if he knows about Candace. You're talking all this.
Does he know about Candace? What do you mean?
Yeah, he's saying I couldn't build a functional civilization, but he's never heard of the Candace civilization. Do you know about the Candace civilization, Nick?
I know about the Candace situation.
Low end knows. Low end knows. Yeah, Candace dick fitting your lips. Get that ass banned. Get that ass banned.
Shit. I knew exactly where that shit was going. Wait, what was his answer? Did he say he didn't know?
My boy didn't even wait. He didn't even wait for him. He was just like, nah, get him the fuck out of
here. He started talking to nonsense in your chat.
Yeah, because he was already in my chat. He said something crazy, but he only said something once, so we were just kind of waiting. And then he started talking brazy in here, and I guess he thought he was gonna come in my chat, and that was not the case, friend. Go ahead and make you another account.
I'm still trying to figure out who that guy is.
I think.
What's up, Marble Caps
called OV.
OV.
I think that's OV off of. He's like relatively new to chat.
I don't know why. I think that
Nazis,
might be Aegis.
They're mad because they're holding the L, and they're going to continue to hold the L on every facet of life.
Yeah.
That's why they're fighting so hard.
No, I'm politically vote he's OV.
Maybe. I mean, Aegis or Adolf Hitler. Yeah. Hey, but you know what, guys? Actually, this has been fun and everything, but I am actually I just worked like a full 13-hour shift, so I'm
fuck yeah, shit, we were running it, man.
Solidarity.
No, I had a good time. I really, really think we should do this on a regular basis, and maybe even get some more people in here.
I would definitely be into that. All of that.
Yeah, I think that this was actually extremely productive, and it speaks to the point that you made earlier that a bunch of lefties in the chat can have a way more progressive, a way more productive discussion. Even unmoderated,
right?
Just speaking about these things in general.
Big facts.
And I'm okay with having a conservative viewpoint, but I'm just
there's such thing as here.
Here's here's the thing though, is we're familiar with the points, and even if we weren't, we're familiar with the principle. So their mind exists inside of our mind. So we could make all of their arguments for them if we had to, steel man them, at least the ones that make sense. So it's
absolutely, without question. Yeah.
Bullshit Jobs is a great book. Freckle said Bullshit Jobs is a great book. Sorry.
I'm supposedly doing a Low End Theory versus the World stream tomorro.
Interesting.
Are we allowed to join that, or is it only enemies?
I'm 50-50 on if I'm even gonna.
That sounds brutal. I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind having discussions against enemies, because at the end of the day, I don't want to just continue to sit in echo chambers and only talk to lefties, but I want to debate principled right wingers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, good luck finding them.
It's hard. No, it is hard. One guy who I did see that I thought was a fairly principled right winger was CTV.
I'll say this, because it gets
Rob Noor.
It gets into the weeds sometimes.
I would not debate Rob Noor.
No, absolutely not.
The only right wingers I can really get down with, are the right wing anarchists, because I say this a lot. There are cool conservatives. They made pretty cool music and stuff. But a lot of the modern personable George Bush, that guy is cool to drink a beer with conservatives, because I've done streams with CTV. I've played Halo with him and stuff. He's a down ass dude. He's funny as shit. He would be a cool dude that I would love to, I'd smoke a bowl with him. You know what I mean? Whatever. I'd drive cars with him.
I asked CTV if he'd have me on for a discussion one day, because I thoroughly enjoyed. He was on one stream. I forgot what it was, but he seemed like a very principled and nuanced guy.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I guess that's where my issue would lie with him, is that he's a dude that I would love to go shooting with, but at the end of the day, his politics necessitate my death. So
that is true. That is absolutely true. I'm gonna start gathering other guys for this, and even women as well. Whoever wants to join, can join.
That'd be sick.
I just want it to be a very this type of format. Just chill, cool. We talk about shit. We can have disagreements, clown, all that shit.
There was someone from
shit is being discussed, and it actually results in actual positive discourse.
Facts.
Not mudslinging contests and shit. I know Brittany mentioned Todd. Bring Todd on. I don't even fucking know if I would bring him on, because he seems more interested in shit flinging more than anything.
All right. When you get Todd in a chill environment where the cameras are off and everything, then Todd's actually a pretty.
This is what I'm talking about.
I've had conversations with him outside of streaming situations. I have.
Yeah, you can have good combos with him when the cameras are off.
That's what I'm saying. Like all these people, like they're on the dyad and not the realm of politics. All these people are personable people. They're not going to tell you they want you to die to your face. You know what I mean? But like they vote for people whose policies would result in your death, at least in my case. So it's like, if you, the motive would be education. I guess I didn't give him a fair shake because a lot of people seem to really like CTV, and I didn't get it at first, especially because I had one of those people come in my chat, like who I assumed was from one of CTVers, like someone like Nick, you know what I mean, to come in my chat to say that I was talking about my experience in both the Freddie Gray protests as well as the George Floyd protests here, and that dude came in to like talk about how apes should be run over in the streets or some shit like that.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, because I was like in mid conversation with Montreal Player about a panel I just did with him, and yeah, I stewed on that for a minute, but yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying is like that's the other thing is like you curate that type of people in your audience, you know what I mean? Because the right wing is like the extreme right includes those types of people, you know what I mean? Whereas on the left, the extreme left is like fucking like blue haired, you know what I mean? Like the people that the anti-SJW crowd hates, right? Like, yeah. There's really in America there are no like left wing extremists and stuff like that, but.
Well, depending on who you talk to, because like some people will say those blue hair types are extremists.
Yeah,
you know,
but how I would measure an extremist is actually by the danger that they pose to society in terms of like material harm.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like it depends on what your definition of material harm is. Like obviously I don't agree with their definition, but their definition, if I'm just steel manning them as best I could,
oh yeah, I get you.
They would argue that they are in fact resulting in material
degeneracy, degrading the quality of society by making it gayer and browner.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, kind of sort of ridiculous, but I'm gonna call it a night, guys.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Have this pop on.
Where you are, man. I don't know what time zone
it's 2 a.m. where I'm at.
Oh, true. Yeah, it's about 2 a.m. on East. Yep, I'm out.
You guys are both East Coast. Like it's 1 o'clock a.m. where I am right now.
Yeah, so, no, I don't got work until 12 tomorrow, so that's why I'm like able to blessed enough to like stream this late in the day.
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow. Tuesdays, Wednesdays will work great for me schedule wise.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah, I usually stream Wednesdays
or Saturdays and Fridays and Saturdays as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Hell yeah. I usually stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So.
And when does Prime do his like kind of like barbershop-esque
all
stream?
black thing? I think the All Black Reverie, I think he calls it, is on Thursdays, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, cool. Well then, maybe we can aim it for like Wednesdays or Fridays and Saturdays.
True.
Yeah, true. I don't want to step on his toes.
Man, there's so many things I want to do with Twitch in the coming year. Like I'm trying to join forces with my man fucking Frackle, with my man fucking gosh, what's the guy's name, bro? Who does the fucking wartime figurines? Gosh.
Oh fuck, I forgot. What the paints his facial hair and stuff.
Paints his mustache.
Yeah, that guy's cool. I want to do stuff with Sharky.
Cool shit.
I fuck with Sharky. Shark 300.
Shark Zero, bro.
I like Shark Zero. I like him a lot.
FD Signifier.
FD. Yes, I fuck with I was just saying to Frackle that like this is whole deep ass well of like, because I've been doing the political content and like the gaming content and shit for a minute, and I've only just now discovered like this deep ass well of like black as fuck like dope content, and like I want to be a part of it, and like as much as I want to consume it, I want to also contribute to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I got something big for you guys too coming up real soon. I'm trying to like get like my whole body of work set up and everything, because I want to be able to like kind of produce regular content. But I race cars as a hobby.
Oh shit!
I'm trying to do some big automotive content. I just imported a car from Japan. I'm waiting for that to actually get off the shipping.
Have you linked with any of the other leftist race boys?
They're leftist race boys.
They're hard to find, dude. They're extremely hard.
There's
to find.
like Beer Bash.
I don't know
Beer Bash and Boy Meets Mini races minis in real life. I think Beer Bash just does stuff like with the wheel, but yeah, I can link you with them for sure.
Oh, link me up with them because I'm definitely trying to get some.
It's
the car space is extremely right wing.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Boy Meets Mini is the leftist Daisy dude. His shit is actually called Critical Racing Theory. It's fucking awesome.
Send me links to that, dude, on Twitter.
And Beer Bash Johnson has Turn Leftist Motorsport.
Wow.
I did see somebody doing that on Twitter today. Actually, I just got exposed to that person today, and I actually meant to like shoot them a DM. Shoot me a link to these guys.
I'll shout them out on Twitter and stuff too. Everybody who's watching right now, make sure you follow them if you aren't already anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Endless. Oh wait, I do know how to find you on Twitter. Okay, I'm gonna tag you on Twitter sooner. I'm gonna follow you.
Yeah, I'm MF Endless on Twitter.
Yeah, you can literally just follow the last thread where Todd like tried to come at me again.
That shit was crazy.
I didn't know there were fucking left wing racers. You know?
Yeah, it's extremely uncommon.
Yeah, it's very uncommon.
Very uncommon.
I'm trying to get into it too, because like that's how I learned to drive on Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec on the PS2 with the wheel and everything. My dad told me,
if you ever want pointers on building a race car, talk to me, because my biggest thing right now is so actually I ran this program during the summer where I actually like built go-karts with these young black kids in the west side of Chicago. That was a thing I did.
That's cool.
Last year. This past summer. I'm hoping to do it again, but I think I want to implement an entire car into it.
That's cool.
And actually put these kids on the racetrack.
That's cool, man. And it's funny you mentioned that because I got a homie that builds BMWs to race in, and I wanted to. I have a weird thing where like a lot of my favorite like fictional characters are low-key cops, like Judge Dredd, Bishop from X-Men, fucking RoboCop.
Mm-hmm.
So I got really into electric vehicles, and I really wanted to get like a 96 Taurus and pull the ice out of it and drop a brushless motor in it and maybe throw a battery like in the trunk or something and like have
it's something that's possible you can do. The technology of like battery for battery control and stuff like that is actually getting real way up there. Like there are a lot of like content creators out there like making like electric conversions of cars right now.
Yeah. I've seen the Jeep conversions and stuff, like Jeeps.
Look up the guy Brad Builds.
Okay.
On YouTube. He does he's been doing a lot of electric conversions on cars lately.
Because I saw
but
Rich
then he's
Builds.
also doing the opposite as well. He also is ice swapping electric cars as well.
Nice. I gotta definitely check that out because I saw Rich Builds. I was like, black dude, Teslas, hell yeah.
Oh no, you're right. Rich Builds. That's
Rich Builds. Oh, okay, sorry. Oh,
yeah,
okay. All right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that dude's fucking awesome. Yeah.
Oh, and he's funny as fuck.
Hilarious.
He is
hilarious.
Oh, he is hilarious, dude. But I'm gonna call it a night, guys.
Have a good night.
Please tweet me a message of those guys you just
definitely
talked about on Twitter.
Definitely.
I'm gonna love to talk to them. And yeah, that's gonna be it for me. You guys have a good night.
All right.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you so much, Low End Theory, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna see if I can catch you tomorrow. I'm not gonna jump you tomorrow, but I'll see if I can.
Hey man, by all means. Hey, but in order for us to talk next time, if you're gonna bring liquor, I need to be Hennessy or some cognac. We can't do the bottles of Sauvignon Blanc anymore.
If
the best I can do is Alizé, my man.
I was gonna say at least do some VSOP. I was gonna say at least do VSOP.
All right, I'm out of here, guys.
All right, have a good night, bro.
All right, peace.
Yeah, that's because that was crazy. I saw that dude, I guess, came at him. It's this whole was just like happenstance. That dude came at him. He was like, you keep adding people nobody wants to talk to. And I'm like, bruh, you have like 130 followers. Who are you? Like I only have $155, so I'm nobody too, but it's just like, don't do that. Like, nah, don't do that.
Yeah, they have this beef going on, him and Todd.
Yeah, I wasn't even hip. I just randomly scrolled through that in my feed and it was just like, I fuck with this dude. Let me hop in this. Today I was just like, I just was just spinning the block today for some reason while I was at work. I was like just full of hot takes today.
Yeah, man. Let me follow you right now, just so I don't.
Yeah, likewise.
I'm gonna follow you right now, dog. Because I know you were on that thread, so all I gotta do is find that thread real quick.
Yeah, as soon as you follow me, and you're on Twitch, I'm gonna follow you on Twitch as well.
I will follow you right back on Twitch, dog.
Your bars and joysticks?
Bars and joysticks, yeah.
Hey, that's lit.
Yeah, my channel does hip hop and video games.
Nice.
And I do bar for bar. You know, like how rappers exchange bars, so that's kind of how I see it.
Fuck yes.
Talking to folks and stuff.
There we go. I just followed you on Twitch. Bubba Wallace has been starting to change things. Absolutely, I would agree.
What?
My best friend, we dated for a while, and we're just really, really close. We're really good friends now. She's really, really into NASCAR, and she just was, since we, we've gotten close and stuff, and we talk about a lot of that stuff, and she's just been talking constantly about how different shit is in NASCAR now compared to, especially like 90s NASCAR. There's actually a funny ass story. I said earlier that I grew up in a mostly white neighborhood. I remember this was like second grade. One of my like white kid like classmates had a birthday party, wanted all of his like classmate friends to go. We all went to Camden Yards here, and it's the Baltimore Orioles baseball teams. It's where they play.
Okay.
So they took us on a tour there when there was no game or anything, and like showed us like the skybox where the food is prepped, where the players sit, and like showed us the field and everything. Little tour, whatever. I was, in second grade. I had my little Polaroid camera and stuff, but it was like with his parents. So we finished the tour, went back to his house for cake, ice cream, unwrapped presents, all that stuff.
Sounds like a great day.
Yeah. And I remember being in the kitchen, like doing cake or whatever, and the adults were talking about NASCAR, and you're a little kid, you want to talk, the Gorefoats are talking, you know what I mean? And I didn't know shit about NASCAR, you know what I'm saying? I'm black. Like, I grew up in a black household. All my entire family is black. Like, I didn't know fuck all about no NASCAR, but I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in the conversation. And I was like, my favorite racer is Jeff Gordon. And I remember he just got mad as fuck. Like, he's like, Jeff Gordon. Fucking talk about no Jeff Gordon. I guess they just didn't like Jeff Gordon, I guess. That's just, I don't know why, but he just got like, it was funny to me at the time. And it's been funny to me and will always continue to be funny to me. But it was just, it's like striking now, the reaction that he had, where he got like irrationally angry at this like 8-9-year-old kid, had no idea what the fuck he was talking about, being like, I like Jeff Gordon, and you're that butthurt about your like races, your turn lefty boys. Like, this child has offended my my feelings. Yeah, thanks, Frackle.
Yeah,
first Arab woman driver in NASCAR. I didn't know that. Tony Bredinje. I'm gonna guess that's how it's pronounced. I'm not really good with names. Sorry.
Cemetery. Looking for you on Twitch right now.
I just followed you.
Oh yeah, the young follow ski.
Hey, appreciate you.
Oh, thanks, Frackle.
Yeah, Frackle's a real one.
Hell yeah. Frackle is a real one. He has some good takes.
Definitely. Frackle's an abolitionist. That's why I like Frackle.
Yeah. You want to dive into the last 20? Is it 20 minutes? Like 20 minutes of this shit?
20 minutes? Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm good for it. If you're up.
Let's run through it.
Number is saying is it based off of the available technology of the day.
You have the numbers, CTV?
And listen,
do you even know what the source is, CTV?
I don't have to in order to explain this thing, right? So if there's a specific job that's going on, like painting, for example, So there's a certain amount of that can be pre-programmed to repetitious actions that can be turned over to an AI or to some type of automation. And there are certain parts of a job that you're going to have a human being to do there because it's just simply too complex to have. That's the point.
Yeah, like a job that maybe took like 20 people will take one. So what happens to the other 19 people?
Adolf Hitler.
Okay. So what I'm saying about those numbers is it's still complete speculation, and I don't even know the source of the numbers.
That's my bad because I didn't even have multi-stream chat open.
And again, this doesn't address my issue. How would building the wall fix this?
My fault, Key. I didn't even acknowledge Key.
My
bad, Key.
Okay, so you don't want to.
Shout out to
you said we
Key.
should close the border.
Follow Keyblade Warriors
So how
on
would close the
Facebook.
border help anything right now?
I think that we need to contain what we already have here. I think we're continuing
So
to grow. We're continuing to rapid pace the what's going to be happening to white people becoming a minority.
Okay, so your interest here, and let's be honest here, isn't with the economy, because the economy would greatly suffer based upon what you're saying.
It's
Because
both.
not all.
It's both, Dylan.
Okay, no. Listen right now. You're talking about stuff that might happen and is speculation
It's
to
already
happen. And I'm fucking Jesus Christ, Brittany.
Sorry,
Okay?
I'm sorry.
Let Dylan say his piece and you can respond, Brittany. Go.
I just said I'm sorry.
AI is developing, but we have no clue exactly the limits of AI or the pace at which it will take over. Okay, and so the idea that we're going to close the border right now and hurt industries like the shrimping industry, like the food industry, if you honestly think we're going to be able to film, and this is something, for example, the farming industry up with white homogeneous labor in the United States to help the white man get the job back on the farm, it ain't gonna happen. That industry is dominated by migrant labor, and it's not dominated by migrant labor because they were able to steal jobs from the natives. It's dominated by migrant labor because the natives don't want to work the jobs, and that's period. If that wasn't the case, then why do we have a labor shortage right now?
Dylan, farming, fishing, and forestry, 56%.
So you're saying in the future that could happen, but right now you were saying watch the American economy burn.
Hey,
Let's
Boy
watch
Meets
people fucking
Mini.
suffer
I was just
because of
talking
my
about
speculation
you.
upon AI in the future, and I'm willing to do it right now to do it. What you're doing, this whole closing the border thing, is not going to help
I
anybody.
was just talking about you.
No,
Boy
I think
Meets
we have
Mini.
enough labor here. I'm sorry, but I just do. I really think we have
So
enough.
why do we have a labor shortage?
Adolf Hitler.
Labor shortage
like,
in what sense? Where?
So do you not have a girlfriend?
What
It's
do you
like
mean? In what,
two.
we have a
It's
labor shortage.
Like in
You're a
what
company.
field?
If you,
hey, what's up,
basically every
Deslan?
field.
Adolf Hitler on YouTube,
Okay,
dog.
the
It's
service
like
industry, when it comes to
2:15 a.m.
Yeah, I mean that can easily be
I will
replaced right
admit
now by
freely,
AI.
I get no pussy.
why
Clearly,
isn't it?
I'm here on
It's a good
Twitch.
question, but like you're
Do
seeing
you
a
not
lot
get
of
pussy,
industry
bro?
in general being taken by jobs. Like if you go to like the markets, they have the self checkouts. They've got a lot of this shit like that's already happening in China. That's already happening with the food industry.
Already,
Like,
so
I can help
why,
you.
So why is there a labor shortage? If that's
I'll
the
tell
case,
you
we can
off
all be taken
top.
replaced right now by AI.
Women
Why
don't really
is
fuck
there
with
a
the whole
labor
Adolf
shortage?
Hitler thing.
Maybe they need to freaking. I don't know. I don't know why there would be a labor shortage in certain. Maybe they just haven't started doing it
It's
yet.
all- So they haven't started doing it. Almost like
Hey,
AI
Alex
can't
Roivas,
just magically
Cross
take all
Crescent
of these jobs
Creed.
right
I
now
appreciate
because
you.
the development of that technology is okay. So why should we close the border right now to solve this issue?
What's the future of cooking?
Shit. They got me with an ad.
Me?
I gotta mute the ad. I'm sorry.
Damn.
No free club. I know I'm getting free club right now just by giving the images, whatever. They beat me on that one.
Sometimes you just gotta hold the
L.
L.
AI, they're talking about a kitchen robot. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen this thing before. It's pretty nutty.
I've never seen.
But
this
yeah, of course, this type of stuff is gonna be automated. But like, if they think that stuff like, if they think like soylent farming or any of that type of stuff is gonna be automated in the near future, they're delusional. If they think that's done by anyone other than like black people and minorities, they're like, I don't know what to tell them. I guess this woman doesn't believe in the current labor shortage.
No, she does. It's just that she's trying to. I don't think she's searching for truth right now in this part.
And that's true,
thing. I think
Diston.
she's looking for a win.
She just wants that W. Yeah.
She wants a W, but like, I wouldn't take on some. There are people that you gotta choose your battles, right? There are some
Facts.
people that I wouldn't debate as someone that likes debating, and I like debating. I think I'm pretty decent at debating.
Who
There are
wouldn't you
people that
debate?
I wouldn't take on, and Dylan Burns is one of those people.
Really? You wouldn't debate
Unless I
Dylan?
found a topic that I thought I had like was a sure winner. Like Destiny, I wouldn't debate. Unless,
would
like,
debate
you're,
Destiny.
Like, only like
I would
unless it's, like-
absolutely fucking debate Destiny. I the only reason I say I wouldn't debate Dylan is because it wouldn't in the way that you're talking about, it would be like how we're doing right now. I feel like I don't think there's a whole lot of things that Dylan and I would disagree upon.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if
Okay.
I don't know if it would be good. It would be good. Like I would love to talk to Dylan. But I don't know if it would be anything other than us kind of, the good stuff, like the debate where we agree. We're just getting to the nitty gritty. I don't know if he's pro-capitalist or not necessarily, or if he's like pro-United States government. I know he's got 1776 in his name, but
yeah, I think Dylan is pro-capitalist. Same thing of Destiny.
Yeah, I know Destiny is. Vosh says he's pro-market, which is like meaningless to me. Yeah. I mean, I'm an anarcho-communist, so it's like, you know, but I don't know.
I feel that. All right, getting back into it. Oh wait, I have it muted. Sorry.
Some people would.
What other factors?
I've already told you the other factors.
So we're done. So it's not helping the economy. So let's all be evident.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Destiny. I don't know how Destiny's still going.
Okay.
But in the long term,
in the long term, it might, because based upon my speculation. So let me ask you again: how would this work any better?
I would only. That's why I would debate Destiny. I would put that last nail in Destiny's coffin.
You want me to give you
I know that's not how it would work, but
Yeah,
that's how I fantasize about that. You know what I mean?
You know why that's a stupid question, right?
It's just me just making Destiny look like an absolute fool, and then everybody's like,
do you know how many we do take in a year?
"Oh my god, Endless Cemetery is so smart," and then everyone claps. You know what I mean?
How much?
Kind of like those vibes.
I think we should fund quite a bit.
Give me an exact number.
Well, I would need to know the number of how much we are doing now.
There you go.
Okay, so
giving you an exact number.
Yeah, people. That's what. Yeah, I won't lie. That's what drew me to Destiny personally. I love bullying. I won't even lie. I fucking love bullying like people who suck. You know what I mean? And that's what attracted me to Destiny.
Within the United States and how the economy reacts and grows.
That
would be my answer to your question.
Gosh, dang.
It's dependent upon economic factors. That's how much I think we should.
Dylan got hands.
Refugees is a different situation because that's more humanitarian.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Okay. So, if that's also my answer to it, why couldn't the solution then be, let's say AI really does take away all these jobs, instead of closing the border, we react to this by slowly decreasing the amount of immigrants we take in based upon how many jobs are available and needed. Because if that was the answer, then it would be able to react like it does right now to the amount of, that's how we do work visas, to the amount of jobs that are open.
So let's do that.
Okay, but that's what we currently do.
No, we're not.
What do you mean? That's how work visas work.
No, we taking like a ton of. We haven't like decreased the amount of it under Trump. I think he might have, but like we haven't decreased the number of immigrants coming in.
Okay, so do you know how work visas work?
Vaguely.
Give me a sec, chat. So hang on, my camera's gonna go away for a split second. I'm gonna see if this works.
Work visas, or they're like temporary work visas, are these things we give people because we want them to work in the United States, but we don't necessarily want to make them a citizen, right? So. This is something that we do, for example, back to the almighty question of the shrimp, okay?
What
the
up,
shrimping
bro?
industry. This is why it's actually the industry is hurting right now. Because Trump severely restricted working visas, for example, specifically in the shrimping industry and a lot of other industries. I really, look, I care about shrimp. I love shrimp.
If I can contribute a little bit here.
Sure, okay.
So, as of 2017, immigrants accounted for more than 18% of U.S. healthcare workers. So I do think that immigrants are pretty vital to our workforce.
Start us with a good take. Holy
Florida,
shit!
I believe it's 40% of
what was the role as far as the
home health aides and nursing assistants, things like that. So 40% of the healthcare workers in that field.
Can you send me that stuff?
Of course.
Filipinos dominate the nursing industry.
I was just about to say that. I was literally just about to say that.
I didn't know Filipinos dominated.
Yeah, they do.
I thought it was like I used to be.
We already have actually, if we want to talk about shortage
I
of
did a lot of
workers,
recruiting
healthcare
for
industry is probably the
women
best
that are
place
from
to
like
look at
Africa
because we have a we
They-
already had a
There's a lot of them in
shortage
there,
healthcare
especially in the
workers prior to the
hospitality
pandemic.
industry
With
as
the pandemic,
well.
we've had
But
early
it's
retirements
in
as well as,
nursing. It's
other
mainly
things that have caused
Filipinos.
us to
Filipino
globally
women
even have a
specifically.
shortage in healthcare workers.
All right, but again, okay, so the whole economy factor, it's important, but it's just one fraction of why I'm against the immigration. Where are you going to address the little Timmy factor?
Wait,
sorry. I bought Stardust.
That's such a joke.
I don't want to
That's like a meme.
situation. Okay. So
Yeah.
I just want Stardust to be able to just say a few things. Okay, Stardust.
I just wanted. I said what I wanted to say. Basically, I'll put some links in the chat.
Wait, can you send it to me privately because I'm gonna lose it if I don't look at it now. Just send it to me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So currently, what we've worked from this discussion, we've started with we should close the border and moved it to
she doesn't understand immigration. Yeah, it is frustrating to listen to.
Yeah. That's what we've moved from the start of this conversation to where we are now. Except for, of course, but nobody agrees with this, undocumented immigration, right? Because That's what we do currently. We approve and don't approve work visas based upon economic need. The only difference is, of course, under Trump when he was more anti-immigrant, and he didn't approve work visas because he wanted to.
Oh, we're watching. We're watching.
Said that, what did you say about the illegal immigration part? That nobody would agree.
We're watching Wilma.
Yeah, like nobody would. Nobody. Okay,
you know that streamer, Wilma?
Of people do not agree that illegal immigration is good. Okay.
Hey, Bars and Joysticks, can you pause this real quick?
Isn't like Bosch like an open border person?
Okay, so let's also be for real for a second.
I just want to address the new YouTube chatter. We're watching Wilma. You've never heard of a streamer named Wilma?
Wilma.
You know who Wilma is?
Wilma. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're listening to Wilma right now. You know who Wilma is, Nick?
He doesn't know who Wilma is, huh?
I guess he don't know. Wilma dick fit in your lips. Get that ass banned.
Oh my gosh. I love it. I banned my first person, and Nick, you were the first person. Well, Nick's not hearing anymore, so
he's like in love with me now, I guess. I'm sorry, you continue. I just wanted to do that. It's cool. I just wanted to do that real quick.
I know it's me. Hold on a second.
Okay, so my thing is, when it comes to open border people, this is super online conversation. It's like when I hear like somebody like
you like that one cross.
I don't honestly care because it's super online stuff. This is not what actual like. I think
I'll always be the better person.
If you listen to Donald Trump talk about immigration, if you listen to Joe Biden talk about immigration, if you listen to Bernie Sanders talk about immigration, or AOC talk about immigration, none of them, even AOC, okay, none of them are advocating for open borders. None of them. Could you point to me to any mainstream politician that actually wants open borders?
I haven't really been paying attention to what they've been talking about in general, but it seems like that a lot of lefties are pushing for that kind of.
When you say a lot, what you mean is a certain section of the online community, right?
I actually am pushing for open borders.
Numbers on it.
I'm gonna literally, I swear to God. But no, I like I said before, my little red pill, I actually was for open borders, and it was almost a reaction to Trump, I think, in a way, because he was pushing for a lot of the close the wall. And I think a lot of lefties in general were kind of going for whatever the opposite of what he was doing was. And I know, I feel like I did that myself.
That's not me, but that's not wrong.
No, go ahead. Okay, I don't want to speak.
It's not even wrong.
Yeah, we're changing the. So the thing is, I can even say on a conceptual level, on a personal level, open borders is not something I'm opposed to. Right now, IRL, it's not something I'm advocating for. It's not something I'm pushing for because I know that just like. In reality, it's just not something we're gonna have happen, right? And so it's not even something I even entertain, really, because I believe you have.
Caravans?
That's a fair take, I guess.
What about those caravans we were saying?
How does that declare if the United States does or does not have open border? What?
Well, I mean, like.
What about them?
Like, what was the deal with that?
I can't say your name on Twitch, but you can't say anything at all.
Like, okay, so a caravan.
How about that?
What a caravan is. A caravan.
Right-wing talking points are cancer. Because they'll bring you to this one place where you think you're so sure on things and they speak so passionately about it, but then like when you're asked about it, like that's when your ass gets revealed. Okay, it's so bad for people. It's so unhealthy.
It's a self-report.
Is with a group of people for any number of reasons. They could be humanitarian reasons. They could be economic reasons. Get together and as a collective.
I know what a caravan is. Thank you. I'm asking like
you weren't clear. You said what's up with the caravans. I was gonna. It sounded like you were asking me what a caravan was.
No. Like I'm talking about with the fact that they were coming here. What happened to those people, by the way?
What happened to them? Well, it depends on the specific caravan. Some of them were blocked. Some of them got to come into the United States. I personally believe that they usually, when it comes to caravans, how it should be done is they are given usually refuge in the United States, and they're given time where they're.
Gosh, dang! These ads are coming for me today.
With your mind. What if telekinesis was real? An interface for the same exact CSS properties used by the world's top.
Go ahead and skip that ad on there, Playboy.
Cases pending until, and if of course it fails, then they go back. If it succeeds, we stay in the United States. Yeah.
I missed all that. What'd you say?
I believe that if somebody, and I assume this has to do with, I'm assuming you're asking humanitarian reasons. If somebody comes to the border and says, "Hey, I want to come in to work job," they're not going to just be able to just come in. So I assume you're talking about. I believe they're a refugee. That they should be given refuge within the United States, right? As they do it in basically every other country in the world that has actually like, not fucking asshole leadership, right? And they're given refuge in the United States, and they're able to stay within it until their case is pending. And when their case is done, right, they are either sent back or they can stay. If they, of course, like, or like, no, never mind, fuck you, I'm not going to leave, then we send out proper authorities to collect them and send them back.
Why do you think they're coming? I mean, like, what's going on in their countries? Is there anything like you think that we should do to their countries to go there?
Yeah, I think that economic partnerships with countries and possibly even security partnerships, depending on if the country wants it, to deal with, like, you know, gang violence and shit like that.
Brittany calls herself a leftist. This is what I'm saying, dude. You could literally just get on this shit and be like, I'm a leftist. Oh my goodness, this shit is so silly.
We wouldn't have to put as much money into like immigration services and border patrol stuff like that.
Okay. I got like 5 more minutes, you guys, and then I gotta get going. But I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to.
So it feels like we got the economic thing out of the way because Brittany seems to now be an advocate for the status quo when it comes to immigration. Good for them.
You are an advocate for open borders, so.
Okay, great. So now the little Timmy immigration factor. Since we're done with the economic factor,
yes. Let's get to the heart of
this. Okay, so what is it about the little Timmy scenario and about this kid getting bullied in school that is so important to you?
Well, I mean, okay, like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory in a way. Like, if a white person is going to be in that scenario where now we are the minority, and with all the stuff that is being pumped into the minds of people, with the critical race theory, with all this freaking shit that's been rising up, and with our history of slavery and all this shit, and now the white person, every single minority group seems to have some kind of grievance against white people, and nobody's very sympathetic to the white person when it happens. Like, it's kind of a, oh well, they have it coming type of thing, and I see it a lot in left-wing communities, and I used to have those thoughts as well. So I don't think they're going to get the same protections as minority groups now have, whereas we're trying to almost correct the wrongs of the past, and we are giving them a lot more protection, and it seems like certain minority groups can get away with a lot more than white people can at this point.
Yeah, this dude is like super butthurt. He's like obsessed with me now. I have no idea what his deal is.
For example, Mio should interact in the IRL world more.
Brittany, I guess.
And I know he does.
From Politically Privileged, these takes are
Mio should, because
wild.
He has an anime profile picture, so I know he doesn't leave his room. Okay, so that's the
That's funny.
But
that's funny
the reason why is because I, as somebody who has lived in a county that is a majority black county, and it is even known in our state for being a majority black county.
PG County, he's correct.
I was
that
not
is correct.
Discriminated against, okay, for being white. I was fine, okay.
They are absolutely not discriminated.
And I was fine. There was some tensions during like the racial, during certain riots and stuff over race issues, but for the people who knew me personally, it was fine. Being exposed to people in your community and getting to know them in one-on-one scenarios, that stuff was super, super important for me to not only grow as a person and learn about other cultures and people, but also was important for them to learn about me. And then we chilled and we hang out. One of my best friends who just got back from Afghanistan is a black Muslim man from Egypt who was super cool, super amazing, and we were great friends. And so my solution to the little Timmy scenario is simply that I think dialogue and conversations and community building would be the solution to that. Because in Prince George's County, I am literally little Timmy. Okay. And the reason why I am here and I'm fine and I'm perfectly cool.
Damn.
Because I was interactive with my community and we were able to learn.
Dylan hit her with that. That's crazy.
PG County is overwhelmingly non-white.
Oh god, I didn't know where that was coming from. It freaked me out. I thought it was like one of those.
Listen to Stardust. Stardust on her. Jamie, pull that shit up.
Debate bros would call like anecdotal evidence.
Okay, you can call it anecdotal evidence, but I would also then say this: white people control the vast majority of wealth in this country. White people control the vast majority of political positions. White people control.
Can you pause that really quick?
Police and these people enforce laws. Our majority.
Because the other thing I want to point out is that the hardest hit counties by COVID were Montgomery County, I believe, and PG County, which is, they have the highest concentration of blacks. I might be wrong on Montgomery County, but I know for a fact PG County was one of the counties, and it's predominantly black, like he was saying. And one of the richest counties in America is in Maryland. So I just wanted to throw that out there really quick, that Dylan's speaking all facts. I will co-sign anything Dylan says about Maryland.
Oh, yeah. It's really interesting when people talk about like their state history. Like I know people from like fucking Arkansas that can tell me a lot more about Arkansas history, and I know people from like Georgia and the Carolinas that can tell you a lot more about their state history. I find it really interesting when like people are closer to my age can tell you about the fucking state history, and it's not just somebody's grandparent.
It's just it's a niche thing. I feel like not everybody is into that, especially if your town is not really interesting. You don't like the people that are from there. You have ideations of making it out. Yeah,
it's just like a hot commodity because like it's really rare. There's so many people. Like there are things about Florida that I can tell you but then I can't find.
Oh
like
man.
say like my aunt will tell me things that happened when she was like a teenager. My aunt's like in her 60s and close to 70s actually. Shit. If not already in her 70s. And like she'll say things about when she was a teenager about Florida. And like I'll look this shit up and like I can't find it. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? She's like, yo, I swear, is the thing.
Florida's so interesting to me. Same with a lot of those southerns. Like I'm a big like outdoors guy, so I love flora and fauna. My grandmother, she's in her 80s, and she tells me stuff about like Mississippi. That's crazy.
Yeah. Just like old racism and shit. It's like the TV show Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
And you don't need the fucking mysticism of Lovecraft Country for it to be like a crazy ass show. All right. So it's a crazy ass show from episode number 1. All right. Like, but yeah.
There's actually a content creator. Her name was Melina something, I want to say. I can't remember, but she actually did a really good video essay on Lovecraft Country. When I remember her name, I'll say it, but you can go ahead.
Good fucking show.
Yeah.
Majority white across the United
Book
States.
was better though.
If you were to look at all centers of power in the United States, it is majority white. The problem of the idea
Melina Pendulum, thank you.
And then them being victimized in some way. I feel like this is something that's unprecedented in not only American history, but in any history that is country that is. Wait, let me finish.
That's just wrong, though.
So in American history, there was a time when white people were the minority.
No, but there's other points in other countries where this has happened.
Okay, where?
South Africa.
So in South Africa, once white people were the majority, then they became the minority. That's what I'm talking about now, because that isn't something that happened in South Africa. They weren't the majority.
It doesn't matter. There was a grievance against white people.
Okay, so the problem is that the culture in South Africa and the history of South Africa is vastly different than the history of the United States. South Africa was never majority white. Its leadership, okay, is still it was majority black when it was before colonization, and then it still was, its population was still majority black during colonial rule. The population of the United States has always been, when we're talking about the United States, not as in the native tribes, was always majority white, and it will probably continue to be majority white for another 10 or 20 years. And so you would need to explain to me, and there would be such a cultural shift of people being able to see white people in their communities, being able to communicate with white people in their communities, be able to know white people in their communities, and one thing, be able to take this power back from them, including all the wealth, the institutional power, the cops, all of that, fight, rebel against them, and there would be like some civil war. Like I need to see some like historical precedent here for what you're describing.
Why don't we put a pin in this and we can talk about the little Timmy part another day?
Oh,
I have to
of
go
course
in
she
here for
wants
like an hour and a half. And
oh
I
yeah,
more
she
to
dipped
get
out.
into that, and I don't have the time to do that right now. So yeah, thanks for having me on, Chud. Thanks for.
I would be interested in talking about that.
And I will talk to you guys later. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Brittany.
All the best.
Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Little Timmy, huh?
Dylan Burns on some king shit once again. That's why he wears the fucking crown.
He was spicy.
Right?
He was spicy on that one. That was a good one. That was some good shit.
I don't oftentimes see him get spicy like that. Yeah, it was fucking good. It was fucking good. Yeah. And
I'm not gonna lie.
If you ever want to talk to Brittany some more, I think she subscribed to you.
She did. Yeah, she followed me. But I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched a whole lot of Dylan's content lately, just because I haven't really been watching like a whole lot of YouTube and stuff lately. But hell yeah, this was some good shit.
It was fucking fun. It was fun. What was I gonna say about that? Yeah,
Mr. Geek's editing always on point. Shout out to Mr. Geek.
Yeah, you know Mr. Geek. I don't know Mr. Geek at all.
I don't know him, but he's always been cool whenever I've interacted with him. So.
True.
And editing it's labor that he does. So
yeah,
shout out to him.
Sure. I'm trying to interact more with like the Twitch community, because like the people on YouTube aren't always the same people on Twitch. Some people have Twitch and YouTube. I'm on YouTube right now for the most part, Bars and Joysticks on YouTube.
Right on.
But I'm trying to do more Twitch interaction because I feel like that's like a completely different place.
Yeah, it is.
Wait 1 second. Let me go.
I'm currently multi-streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.
StreamYard?
I'm using Streamlabs.
Streamlabs. Okay.
It's gross, I know, but
oh,
I'm lazy. Yeah, I'm just lazy.
You have like the paid version, I guess, huh?
I do. I was like, I'm gonna just pay for this so I don't have to think about it, and I've just been too lazy. I don't have like the support or the infrastructure to change it and stop paying for it. Plus, I get the domain endlesscemetery.com from it, so I'm just like, I'd pay the $20 a month just for the domain. So
that's actually really fucking good.
Yeah.
So Streamlabs gives you a domain name?
Yeah, endlesscemetery.com is mine.
That's really good. That's a really good deal.
Yeah. It's like $80 for a whole year or $20 a month.
Can you
But there was just like
e-commerce off the website?
What's that?
Can you do e-commerce off the website? Like, can you sell like t-shirts and stuff?
Yeah, you can do that through them, I believe. But there was just this whole thing there. They like got low-key canceled because they were like stealing code from regular OBS, I guess, or like I didn't know the particulars of it. I watched a video on it, but then forgot because I knew in my head I was like, okay, I know Streamlabs sucks, and I agree with all this. I also know that I'm not going to put any effort into doing anything that I do for my stream setup differently. So that's just kind of how it's going to go. But at some point, when I get the time and the energy, I'll switch to, because I want to switch to regular OBS. Because the other thing is like Streamlabs is a really big resource hog for like your CPU and stuff. And you totally can, like, it might actually be cheaper to just buy endlesscemetery.com and do the website myself, because I know how to do all that. I know how to do web design and graphic design and, you know, make a web design or make a website, HTML, CSS, Flash, all that. I know how to do all that stuff. It's just, it requires time and effort that I haven't had, so.
Yeah, I feel that all the way. That's honestly not a bad deal. That, like, if you're describing that, like that, dude, it comes with the website. It lets you stream on multiple platforms plus the website.
All you have to do, it's like a template, and all you have to do is like plug in your, you know, social media. I use it mainly as like a link tree, so it has links to all of my social media platforms, so like my Instagram, my Twitter, my Snapchat, all that stuff's on there. But it's also the main page of it is like when you pull it up, the first thing you see is my stream.
True that. I'm gonna thumbs up that video. That's just fucking good. All right, man. I've been streaming since.
Yeah.
I'm at the 4 hours and 33-minute mark.
Yeah, I'm at the 3 hour mark. Coming up on it. 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Damn, you do this like 3 times a week?
No, not usually this long and not usually this late either. I usually stream like 10 to midnight. I usually try to keep it within that block. Chill. But yeah, I really wanted to do this, and I was running kind of late, and I had to dig my camera out and stuff from the holidays and all that. But yeah, Monday nights I actually, because I'm like a tournament level like Mortal Kombat 11 player. Monday nights I usually do Mortal Kombat 11 tournaments, but I didn't do it tonight because they start at 10 and I was too late. So
okay, interesting. That sounds fucking fun as hell.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love that game. It's my favorite Mortal Kombat so far, other than 3 for nostalgia purposes. What console do you guys play that on? PS4.
PS4. All right, beautiful. Hell yeah. PlayStation King.
Hell yeah.
Interesting. Damn, I need to get up on my Mortal Kombat skills, and maybe I might join. I'm trying to get better at Tekken right now.
See, I gave up because, like, so I'm good at Soul Calibur. That was actually the game I first started doing tournaments in. So, like, Soul Calibur 6, I was pretty good at. But
that's so weird that you went from, because the fighting timing is a lot different.
Yeah. I can't do Tekken though, just because there's so much legacy skill built up in that, aside from the fact that I just don't have the patience to learn the combos. Like, the best people in that, as far as like the tournament level, are people that have been playing that shit for like 15, 20, 30 years. They've been playing
since the PS1 days.
Yeah, building all that skill up. And it's been the same game since then almost. So it's like,
yeah, if you get a character like Yoshimitsu or Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Like
King players, OG King players and stuff. Like people like Lil Imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like motherfuckers like will like have that shit like built up and shit. So I see where you're coming from on that end. Holy shit! Damn, 240. All right. Like like Endless Cemetery. Do you prefer I say Endless or Cemetery? Or
Endless
EC?
or whatever. Endless Cemetery, whatever you want to say. Whatever's easier. My name is Kevin. You call me Kev too. Whatever.
True. Yeah. Well.
How about you, Kev? Bars? I just call you Bars.
True. Yeah, you can call me Bars. You can call me Bars and Joysticks. You can call me Taj. Taj and John. Either of those things, man. Taji. A lot of people say.
Bet.
Yeah, it's fucking great meeting you, dog.
Yeah, this was awesome. I'm glad I did this. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, and Brittany, if you're still in chat, thanks so much for indulging us and
thanks for being a good sport. Yeah.
She's usually a pretty good sport. Like,
yeah.
Some people call her a lot worse, and like she'll just take it.
I try to be very tempered, but I'm a black man. Like I said before, I grew up playing in dozens and shit, so it's easy for me to get in my bag, but I try to chill out.
Yeah, I feel that, man. All right, man, I'm fucking logging the fuck off, man. I'm gonna fucking watch about 10 minutes of
Thank you for the follow
on HBO Max, and I'm gonna fall asleep.
I feel it.
I'm gonna have to rewatch the episode of Succession. All right,
I'm gonna just try to do the same. Yeah.
All right, peace out, Twitch.
Peace.
And broadcast, man. It went great.
Yeah, y'all. That was cool. I'm glad I did that. All right, Distron, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you following and hanging out for a minute. Cringe Lord, like, what's the deal, bro? What's the deal, bro? Cringe Lord, you're talking about me being... I know you're gearing up to come after us. Dog, you aren't, though. You aren't, though. You literally aren't. Cringe Lord, did you see what happened to the Proud Boys when they came to DC? You guys got your fucking asses kicked. We fucking destroyed your dumbasses. What are you talking about? Cringe Lord. Like, I get you're all in on this white supremacy shit. I get it. You get no pussy, so you like think that's like black people's fault. But like, dog, you're not going to win. You've been holding the L throughout history, and you're going to continue to hold the L. January 6th was one massive fucking L. What don't you get? There's going to be an endless cemetery because the police that you support are going to be the ones clapping your dumbasses. And I'm just going to hide you and remove you again like I've been. I don't even know why I acknowledged you in the first place. Proud Boys all narking each other now after coming to DC. Oh yeah, we saw what the right movement was made of. First of all, they came here and they got the absolute fuck beaten out of them for 2 nights straight leading up to January 6th. They had to rush a building because when they tried to run down on people, they got slapped in their fucking mouth. So they tried to rush a building, and some old people that they thought were going to be unarmed. Ashley Babbitt fucked around, fanned out, got put into a pack. We still smoke on Ashley Babbitt on this stream. We get good and high on this stream on Ashley Babbitt. Sheesh. That's good pack, right? And in the aftermath of all that, did all that, delayed the certification for like 6 hours. Womp womp. You thought you won. You thought you took a W, and then you realized you were holding an L. And then you found out all your little fucking right-winger buddies snitched on you. How's that feel? How's that feel? You thought you had a martyr. You thought Ashley Babbitt was going to be a martyr, but you got one of your own people's clapped for no fucking reason, and now you're all snitched on each other. How's that feel? To hold a L that hefty, and now you got to say let's go Brandon because you can't even say fuck Joe Biden in public. How pathetic is that? That one hurts, don't it? Sheesh, I know that's got to hurt. To fight that hard, put that much effort in, that much work, have that much of your hopes and dreams invested into such a fucking ridiculous movement and hold such a hefty L right? After you think you've won, right? On some fucking, what was that commercial where the dude's holding the dollar out with the fishing line? It gotta be quicker than that. Certification got delayed for like 6 hours, something like that. Got delayed for a while, and then guess what? Let's go, Brandon. Hold that L. Hold that fucking L. I don't give a fuck about your KKKs and your fucking Wolves of Vinlands and your little neo-Nazi group, your Proud Boys and shit. I don't care. You're either going to stay big LARPed up and out of shape out in the woods, do all of your training out in the woods and away from the cities and suburbs where people actually matter and give a fuck, or you're just going to tell on each other. You're just all going to tell on each other. That's all you do, is just tell on each other. Y'all move hella federal. That's what's so crazy. You want to be the feds so fucking bad, and the feds just want to put you in jail, just like us. Because that's what you are at the end of the day. That's how good you are to them, to your fellow white man in the FBI costume. You're as good as a darkie like me. You go right in jail, stamping license plates or whatever the fuck they're going to have you doing in there. Proud Boys, I don't care what you are. Klansmen, you think I've not encountered? I tell you what, bruh. Wolves of Vinland, 211, fucking Proud Boys, 3%ers. We got all of them out here. This is Maryland, fam. You fucking crazy? You think I'm scared of that bullshit? I don't give a fuck about none of that. What tells me that you're a coward, what tells me I know you have no clue what you're fucking talking about, is the fact that you think that a black person, a random person on the internet, is scared of that shit. Right? And this is why I said the ending of Lovecraft Country, the book, is better than the TV show, because the end of the book in Lovecraft Country is like they let the white dude live, and he's like, I have people, they'll hunt you for the rest of your days, and they just laugh at him like, are you fucking kidding me? Do you understand what it's like to be black in America? Stamping license plates is something you guys do? Yeah, it's something you guys do too. The Aryan Brotherhood. Aryan Brotherhood was founded in jail, my guy. That's a jail gang, because the prisons are loaded with your kind too. Look at the prison statistics, my dude. Look at the prison statistics. Isn't that like a right-wing talking point, that the police kill more white people than black people? I'd look into that, my dude. I'd maybe sort that one out. I know your butt hurt, so you're not really thinking too clearly. You're thinking emotionally right now because your feelings are hurt, but you know. But what I will do is go ahead and hide you and remove your comments again, so you can go ahead and make another account and continue to blow my engagements up. I love when you make new accounts and it makes it look like more people love me, and it just helps me and it doesn't hinder me at all. And you continue to give me content because people love to watch me dunk on you over and over again. There's a million things you could be doing right now, but you're like making fake accounts to come in here and give me content and make me money. It's kind of wild. They're diehard bootlickers even when the boot kicks back. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like a cowardly dog that has no idea how to feed itself, the master continues to beat. But when he hears that dinner bell, his mouth's always going to water. But yeah, like that dude said, it's late. It's hella late. I'm tired. I was tired at work today. I'm going to be tired at work tomorrow. I'm supposed to be there at 11 a.m. Lord only knows if I'm going to wake up. Thanks for chilling and kicking it with me for tonight, you guys. Thanks to all the new subscribers and viewers. Shout out to Boy Meets Mini for the raid. I appreciate you. I actually was talking about you earlier because we were talking to a young fella by the name of Low End Theory who was really into racing in real life and was unaware of any leftist racing content because car culture is right-wing culture, or rather there's a lot of right-wingers within car culture. So I told him to check you out, especially. I told him, Boy Meets Mini, you race U-Race Minis, and I told him about critical racing theory, and I also told him about Beer Bash Johnson. Shout out again to Beer Bash Johnson and Turn Leftist Motorsports. But yeah, that was cool. Tonight was really cool. I really enjoyed that. Shout out to Brittany once again for being a good sport. Hopefully I didn't come off too disrespectful. I wasn't talking too spicy. Shout out to Alex Royvis, DC Metal Chris, Distron. Shout out to Key. Follow Keyblade Warriors on Facebook if you haven't already. Shout out to Cross Crescent Creed. Shout out my boy Yamu. Shout out Frackle, of course. Shout out Fade Runner, always. Shout out Kuma, of course. Yeah. Big Richie Lizzie, no doubt. Shout out Nord, of course. Shout out DC Metal Chris. I don't know if I said you already, but I'm going to say you again. But yeah, y'all. Oh, shout out Marble Caps Lock. Can't forget Marble Caps Lock. I know they popped in here for a hot minute. Yeah, you have a good night too, cuz. Everybody follow Kuma Bear as well. Follow Kuma Bear and Fade Runner. But yeah, let's see. We'll raid someone. Who are we gonna raid? Who's even still alive? Where's my phone? I want to see who's still alive. I would troll you guys and raid Stardust, but I don't want to punish you like that tonight, because you guys have been good and I like you. Let's see who's still alive. Who's still alive? Who's still alive? Low tier God's live. Should I raid low tier God? Dirtbags or Sunday. Sheesh, I'm following so many people on Twitch now. There's actually not that many people still alive. We've heard enough Stardust, yeah. I'm not doing that to y'all tonight. Is there really nobody like live right now? I mean, it is 3 a.m. in the morning where I am. I would have figured at least like MF Slayer would be live. Somebody. Let's see, I'm logging in on my PC to see who's live. Mute the tab, mute the tab. Packs. Mr. Geek is live. I don't know if he's editing though. I don't want to rate him if he's just editing. What's he doing? He just went live. Okay. I'm gonna rate him. Whatever. Speaking of Mr. Geek, shout out to Mr. Geek. Let's do that. And I see you guys on Wednesday.